We live? Vodders. This stream is a cry for help. It is currently 12:44 a.m. and I had to go live. I had to. I didn't have a choice. The Deltarune summer newsletter. I unfortunately have already read a decent amount of it. Okay, I've gotten more or less the gist of it, but the feelings, I need to archive them. I have not felt like this in a long time about something. I don't know if anyone's gonna show up for this. It is a crackpot 2 in the morning stream. Actually, I need to pull up my chat so I can see if anyone showed up. Diego, you're a psychopath. Hello. I'm also late night sneaking. Hello. Are you seeing what's happening right now? Are you seeing this? Oh, sorry. I gotta be quiet. Oh, apologies. My fault. I'm genuinely tweaking. I have not. Okay. What is going on right now in the last 2 hours on the indie side of the internet, right? It is reminded me so much of when Ultimate Custom Night was on its way to getting released all those years ago. How Scott would just slowly but surely release update after update about just the progress, not explaining what's going in it. I mean, actually, Scott would do that. He would go into detail about whatever sort of character he just added, or like the special DD characters of, oh wow, guys, look, Nightmare Chica got into the game. You've all been waiting for that, right? And people just waiting to see that bar slowly but surely creep up. And we're doing it again. It's been years. Hello, random. Hello, Wef. Dude, why are you streaming so late? I was just about to go to bed. Are you seeing what's happening? You're clearly not aware. It's watching time. I found out how to skip every main boss in Endocopia so you can try to get the other endings. There's more endings in Endocopia? I was actually working on the edit, right when this happened. And I had to stop because that's it. I'm locked in on this. I don't know if I should wait for more people to show up, but I think you got all the endings. Yeah, I think so too. Dude, it's bedtime, go to sleep. No. There's 3 endings, the crazy. Yeah, so we got it all. But look at this. For anyone that hasn't seen it, okay? Deltarune Summer Newsletter 2026. It's summer. Can summer be over yet? Oh god, it's a little shaky. Look at this. We got a beautiful sprite of Asgore Rudy. And this guy flipping a grill or whatever. Flipping a grill. Wow, it really is 1 in the morning. Chapter 5 released. Deltarune. Around a month ago, Deltarune Chapter 5 released. Did you notice? I am pleased with the response to Chapter 5. Many friends told me that they loved it, and some people even cried a bit. Everyone's experience may vary, but if the game resonated deeply with a few players, I feel confident I'm moving in the right direction. Now that it's been a bit, I have a lot of info and concept art about Chapter 5 to share, so please click here to check it out. And we could do it. I have it right here. He's got a bunch of really beautiful concept art, and talks about gameplay mechanics and the struggle it was, I guess, setting up this. I don't know. I didn't read the section of the newsletter, but this is super cool stuff. I love when they show behind the scenes of how they get things working. Look at these little stick guys, I guess, showing the concept of battle with real-time enemies, which I know they didn't actually do that in the end, right? Not really, anyway. Not like people walking around fighting you or anything like that. This reminds me of Brawl Subspace Emissary more than anything, weirdly enough. But yeah, this is lovely. We could go over this, but I don't want to because it's 1 in the morning and I want to get to the point. So, what's next, right? Let's just say for the trapezist, you can just use the scalpel on the left wire and you both fall. Yeah, I've done that before, Diego. You'll see. I'm working on the Endocopia video. It will come out. It will be good. Subspace Emissary mentioned, of course, D-Rev. That's a goated. That's my childhood right there. You know? Yeah. The Endocopia video is on the way, fellas. I'm working hard on it. Nyon. What's next? Chapter 5 was a really fun chapter. And with that last big burst of craziness out of the way, I'm sure everybody is eager for Deltarune to start directly tackling the main mysteries of the game. Me too. Whatever those may be. And here is where I find Toby's writing, you know, we know he's very intentional with his writing, right? I find it very interesting what is and isn't bolded, right, in his text. With chapter 5, we completed the last of the necessary setup for chapter 6 and 7, right? So I remember originally when chapter 5 came out, I thought we would see the roaring in it. I don't know why I decided that in my head, but I did. And it didn't show up. And I think in the moment I was a little disappointed by that, but like looking back on chapter 5, it's probably my favorite one. It does so much right. And the memes and just like the stuff that came from the community from chapter 5 has been by far the peak of this game. And that's something actually Toby will bring up in a moment. The stuff that comes out due to the time in between every single chapter, right? Toby said he wanted to do more Deltarune and not like Hollow Knight, the platformer. Oh, okay. No, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. He's like, oh, you know, maybe we're delving a little too far away from the RPG that this game is supposed to be. Yeah, Diego, if you check the streams, we did this. We did this. That's how we got the secret ending. We had to skip all the bosses, my man. But again, you'll see it in the video, right? But all right. So we're gonna begin. Oh no, I don't think I read this fully. We completed the last of the necessary setup for chapter 6 and 7. From chapter 6 onward, there are no more wacky, silly adventures, and you will begin to see the results of the setup that has been made so far. So, what could this be indicating? I want to get better at this sort of theorizing stuff. If I had to guess, Noelle joining the party is the big issue revolving everything. Whether Chris knows it or the Roaring Knight group chat is aware of it. Surely whatever Dark Fountain is created due to chapter 6, which is supposedly on the shorter side, right? It says it right there. It will be the end of this story. Whatever that means, right? Chapter 6 onwards, there are no more wacky, silly adventures. You will begin to see the results of the setup that has been made so far. It's ironic thinking back to chapter 5 and seeing how fun and lighthearted and goofy and whimsical it was. And people are like, oh, but where's the edge? Where's the edge? I think we're about to get like 3 chapters worth of edge. I think the edge is coming. It's coming quick. I love chapter 5. No more silly. No more silly way. Hype! Of course. Hello, Dualface. Sagacious? I hope I'm saying that right. Because now she will know it wasn't a dream. And like, I find it crazy that Toby says that chapter 6 is going to be short when like the aborted route exists. Are we forgetting about that thing? The aborted route is now a considerable factor in a new thing that you can play when a new chapter of Deltarune releases. Fine, there's no weird route, but we essentially got a replacement for it. Fine, there's no egg, but we're gonna start to see the fruits of our labor, which will lead to something new, something different. There's no way that, okay, it's gonna be a smaller, simpler chapter. Sure, I'm okay with that. If everything leads to chapter 7, let's say we finally get to see who the knight is, and the roaring occurs, and then it's over, right? And the whole point of chapter 7 is that Susie, with the power of hope and determination or whatever, will be able to create her own world, her own story, pick up the pen, as Gerson would say, and create something of her own. Maybe that means side B is gonna be us, like Noelle and Chris and us making our own world. I'm jumping a little ahead, but there is still so much that this game is hiding. So I find it so ironic. He says it's a shorter, straightforward chapter. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But man, I don't know. I am 3D. I have a question. What's the question? Did you react to the new Living Tombstone FNAF song? I have not. I'm pretty sure their stuff's copyrighted. If I did, they'd probably murk me. But I'm sure it was good. I've actually been watching a lot of the LARPing Tombstone, their stuff. Maybe because there's no copyright on it, so I'm tempted to use it in videos, but I don't know. I like the more memey videos they make compared to the more traditional Living Tombstone stuff. Hello, Down. I'm late. I'm working cleaning a parking lot. I don't have my headphones, so whatever you do, don't be crying. or the world will hear. All right, I'll be careful. I'll be careful, Down. Thank you for coming to this 1 a.m. nightmare stream. Same with you, Clippy the paperclip. By the way, would you like to hear about the meaning of the world revolving in deltarune? Sure. Yeah, why not? A guy reacted to it on his YouTube stream. He got no copyright. Yeah, I think turning it into a video would be a problem, but I'm sure on a stream you can get away with it. I bet his VOD is not monetized. There's also videos reacting to it. Oh, then, you know, I can put my money where my mouth is and check it, but we should stay on task. We should stay on task. Chapter 6 is a shorter, straightforward chapter that focuses on one aspect of the story. Because of that, many things are still not touched on here. Again, I want to reiterate this. One aspect of the story. Because of that, many things are still not touched on here. In fact, it may surprise you what was missing. But one thing will be clarified, whether you're ready or not. I don't know what the consensus of other people, what they're talking about. It's 1,000% the roaring. It's 1,000% the knight's identity being revealed. It has to be. I don't know what else it could be, truthfully. Also, Rudy and his corpse. We're going to get to see a lot of that, you know? On a scale from 1 to 100, how scared are you of Chapter 7, Side B, Octo? We're going to get there. 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 Don't worry. We're going to get there. Bye, Dollface. The meaning of the phrase the world revolving is a shift in perspective. As said in Undertale's Ruins. I remember when I had a series that was supposed to be a shift in perspective on looking at something. Like a deltarune playthrough or whatever. As said in Undertale's Ruins. Essentially, it's putting your own definition on a pre-written destiny. Sounds a lot like what Susie wants to do, huh? That's what it sounds like to me. I don't want the fun to end. I don't want our story to conclude. Write our own. I've got some like deltarune lo-fi thing going. It's mad good. Look at this, made by Strikelight. Goated. Oh, what the frick happened? Hello? Hello, my stream. My stream is in shambles. It's 12:56. So random question, because I never did follow Delta News, but how likely is this news is real? Didn't Toby have a history of trolling with some stuff relating to new updates? So I'm not aware of trolling, but from the newsletters that I have seen, and I've seen a lot of these newsletters at this point, I'm pretty sure this is as official comes. I would be shocked if now he would decide, oh, you know, at the end of his story that he's been building up for well over a decade, it's time to start trolling people. Like, there was plenty of trolling in Chapter 5 just with the humor of it alone. I'm pretty sure we're taking this seriously. The run has to happen at some point. It's Chapter 6. It has to be. It's the end of it all. Every secret boss has the world revolving motif because they're striving to put a new definition of their own fates. Yeah. Jevil, he is a prisoner, but he sees the world as a prison in itself, and he's the only free one. Spamton is trying to get power to be a big shot, and he wants to like control over his reality because he's like a failed salesman, so he wants to be above everything, because if he is above everything, he'll obtain happiness, even though it's not really true. What the frick does ERAM do? The Knight, because they're trying to like change the story in general, because the whole roaring group chat, what they're trying to do, the roaring in itself is trying to change fate and change what happens in this story, because the heroes are supposed to come and save the day, but if they can't, then what happens? And then whatever, I can go on, you know, Gerson, he never went insane, but he in general is like an author, so he's very pro just not taking the straight and narrow and trying to find your own path in a story. And then what is Mew Mew? Isn't pink like, it's like a lightener possessing a darkener? It's supposed to be like symbolic of the Chris's relationship with the soul, I think. Chapter 6 could also answer what the final prophecy is, but the revelation of the chapter could be a lot of things. Right, that's why I'm so confused. Chapter 6 is a shorter, straightforward chapter. Straightforward in what way, Toby? Because you love to be very nuanced with your speaking and your phrasing. What do you mean it's straightforward? I really don't think, I really doubt that our straightforward chapter is going to be as straightforward as he says. Because maybe the main theme or the main goal is simple in itself. Oh, it's the roaring. It's the end of the story. But like what happens in it, it has to be some of the most insane stuff we're going to see in this game. Alongside Chapter 7. We'll get to that. The roaring is going to happen at the end of 6, and Chapter 7 is going to be the aftermath. Yes. The Roaring Night is meant to be inevitability, but they too show us what can happen if we have the courage to change our own fates. That's if the Roaring Night in itself wasn't created in the act of changing fate, right? Damn, I really don't know. One thing will be clarified, whether you're ready or not. It may surprise you what was missing. Like, I feel like this, I know I haven't moved on to a new paragraph. I feel like this is really important. What he's saying here. Straightforward chapter focuses on one aspect of the story. Let's say it's the roaring in the end. Because of that, many things are still not touched on here. What does that mean? Like, what does this mean for our characters? What could be avoided in the goal of telling the end of the story? Besides what you're missing. Because, like, I immediately think to Sham. I immediately think to what we get out of obtaining the 5 shadow crystals. I immediately think to the egg and the impacts that it will have to our story. Maybe these things won't matter in Chapter 6. Maybe we will once again be put in a situation where we get a lot of answers. We will. But not the answers everyone was hoping for when it came to these things that have been building up throughout the whole game. I really don't know. Obviously, right? Pink is a successful version of Spamton. Pink never tried to change the core of her being, but became something that fit who she wanted to become. She became what she defined herself to be. Ain't that cool? How they made their worlds revolve around themselves. Maybe we'll be in the meat factory, troubling our dingle while listening to Caster's theme. Of course! What else would we be doing, right? What else would we be doing? Our new home? Maybe we'll finally get to meet that freaking Weirdbeard's parrot. We'll get to eat some, like, fried octopus with him, you know? I still have a theory that the weird route is the canon route. I think Chris is in the time loop. I like time loop theory. I do enjoy the concept of it. The whole idea that, like, we are in tandem causing the roaring, you know, that's Chris Noel night theory, or just Chris night theory, if that's what you believe in. The whole aspect of it just looping on itself, and then you would need something like the Twisted Sword to stop it, which, again, kind of enhances the idea of the aborted weird route, because it's the only one where we can take the Thorn Ring to the end, like the proper end, and not side B, because obviously Chapter 5 we're gone and we go straight to 7. So something in Chapter 6 needs to occur that would have needed the Thorn Ring, or needed something from an aborted weird route playthrough that, like, will have a general impact on things. I don't know. It's hard to say. With what we know about Chapter 7B, which I should probably get to, right? Spamton yearned to become a light earner by stealing our soul, so he could see heaven. He wanted to change his very core and failed because of that. Nice. He never could force others to do something, so now we're involved with forcing him to make others fit a role. My brain isn't big enough to make theories. I've been trying, Wef. The Eggman, on the other hand, is what true freedom is. He strives to be nothing but inconsistency at every single step. And this newsletter kind of confirms the relevancy of the eggs. Really? Oh, Maximeni, welcome to the 1 a.m. crackpot stream. We're just slowly going over the newsletter, and I'm just bringing up my ideas as we discuss it. We are not going to go over this, even though it's cool, because I want to stay on topic, and I don't want this to be like a stream that lasts forever, you know? Are you sure? Eggman, on the other hand, is what true freedom is. I mean, he's free in a sense, but he's also controlled by his own demise, you know? We don't know the Eggman story, right? You could believe he's like Green Gaster or whatever, the Deltarune's Gaster that was then erased by Undertale Gaster. He was left behind in the old world in Man Country. Like, he is being controlled by his own prison, but he doesn't seem upset about it. So you're probably right about that, Clippy, if I had to guess. I'm going to bed, I'll watch a VOD. Hey, it's all good random. I'm surprised with everyone that showed up this late. Have a good night, bro. But yeah, I don't know. The Eggman is so tricky. Because it really depends on what he will do for us in maybe like a prevention or a buff in a friend fight, or being able to stop friend from being able to kill Chris or like rip their hand off. I don't know. That's all theory talk, right? And it's funny because Toby brings up how people might be misinterpreting things in this very newsletter. So to be able to like go based on theories and be like, oh yeah, so maybe this is where we'll end up is kind of iffy to do. Eggman is constantly related to jumbled messages in his own dialogue and in the dialogue of those who hear him. He never sticks to one spot and never has a point in the story. Maybe he finally can reach his point in what we're doing with him, right? We're collecting all of his pieces so he can become like more coherent maybe. Anyway, so yeah, shorter, straightforward chapter. Because of that, many things are still not touched on here. It may surprise you what was missing. But one thing will be clarified whether you're ready or not. What was missing could also be a clue that we are just lacking, and chapter 6 will clear the air on it, and then puzzle pieces will fit together better. Now, some of you may say, wait, you need to make the chapters longer, not shorter, Toby. I appreciated that chapter 5 was like 12 hours long. We need more of that, not less of that. What are you talking about? And you know what? That's an extremely reasonable concern. But, and we're back to bold, by the end of chapter 7, I'm 100% sure you'll understand why I feel confident about the way I'm telling this story. Don't worry about the pacing until it's over. And it's because we're pulling a Mother 3. I've played Mother 3 for the record, where you've got a more simple chapter 6. I remember chapter 6 was not long when I originally played it. And then chapter 7 is like, I'm a bit of a LARPer. I didn't beat chapter 7. I gotta be honest with you guys. But I remember chapter 7 was insanely long. Insanely long. It was, also, I played this like years ago. Back in COVID, I played Mother 3. So it's like, Damn, there's a newsletter. Hi, Duel. Hello, Cheese. Yeah, I'll watch it about later. Bye. It's okay. It's okay. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's a lot. There's a lot here. There's a reason why I went live at this hour. The Eggman is a direct issue to the main storyteller and has been getting hunted down because he can't be allowed to live in his little freedom, just like Jevil. He has been targeted. In general, the secret bosses have been targeted, right? They get that phone call. Maybe it's the Eggman then. Because why would Gaster be trying to drive them crazy if then they have like the friendlings go and hunt them down? I'm still not 100% sure on this like new lore, but it's very cool. It's very cool. The whole pink dialogue stuff. That the friends like come after you if you're like rich or something, right? That's why they came after Spamton. He had a lot of money. As I try to put the pieces together, I will continue to read on. I believe we will be able to release chapter 6 in 2027. It's funny, I did it again. The last time I was reading about release dates, I remember hearing 2027. I'm like, oh shoot. It was when chapter 5's release trailer came out. I'm like, 2027, no. No, sorry, 2026. I'm like, oh, that's a whole year away. And no, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. My brain is like stuck in 2025. I think 2027 is 2 years from now and not next year. So I had that little like jump of like, oh God, chapter 6 is releasing in 2 years. And then dumbass turned on. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. 2027, fine. Chapter 6 would be released by itself in case there's any question about that, which I am extremely happy about. I think that's a fantastic decision on Toby's part. It just objectively a better move to release the chapters individually. And he also, something he brings up later on in this is a big sort of pro in like the idea of releasing the chapters one at a time, other than just having to wait less time between chapters, right? I personally don't like too much of an overload of content. I like to play things slow, and the whole concept of streaming is you don't play things slow. Like, people want to see the whole thing right now, this second, get it out right now, this second. And I've never been the best at playing like that. I'm getting better at it. So just in general, having things really slower, I'm a big fan of in general. Gaster isn't attempting to keep the shadow crystals away. That's the knight, because they can't allow us to become stronger than them. Duel has dementia theory. Essentially, yes. It's okay, bro. The Unk still got it sometimes. I mean, Gaster might not be preventing us. Oh, the shadow crystals. Yeah, because he's fine with the shadow crystals. It's the egg that he has a problem with. I mean, the knight in general is just trying to stop us, you know? I wholeheartedly believe that the promotion for Chapter 7 is going to be over the top. It's going to be scary. I think, in general, these two chapters are when we're going to see Toby at his strongest when it comes to horror. We've been teased the idea of it in Chapter 3 with the sword route. And I think that really is Toby's strong suit. The genocide route in Undertale is ridiculously creepy. He knows how to do tension. He knows how to do just spook. Like something that will just get your skin, under your skin, and just crawl all the way to your spine. He's so good at it. The Kara jump scare and the way Omega Flowey and Kara in general mess with your window. He's so good at it. The 999, just the whatever, you know, the whole Kara scene in general is mwah. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I've always been a fan of horror, but this kind of horror specifically. Anyway, yeah, so released by itself, that's great, lovely, 2027. You guys already know for damn well it's going to be in June, because why wouldn't it be? We're 2 for 2 now. Last time when Chapter 5 didn't have a release date, I said June, and some people called me crazy, some people agreed it was June. So, yeah, I'd expect it in June. The finale for one of the biggest games of the decade deserves it. I agree. You know, honestly, Octo, I think Toby has not been the best with marketing. I feel like the fan base and the community do a lot of the heavy lifting for him, which is fair. I feel like with such a rabid fan base, they're good at it. The people who want to hear about Deltarune hear about Deltarune. And the internet is just a marketing machine in itself. But like, you know, I've got a fun story for you guys. I originally, I don't know if you guys remember Maz. He's a friend of mine that's been on this channel before. I pitched to him that, hey, you should play Deltarune. He never tried Undertale. He's just heard of Undertale. He didn't know anything about Deltarune. I'm like, yo, you should play it. It's really cool. And we started playing it. He really liked Chapter 1. He really liked Chapter 2. And the demo's over. I'm like, okay, you got to buy the full version now, right? And the whole time we've been playing it kind of together. We do voices together. It's a lot of fun, whatever. And I go to pitch to him why he should spend the $25, right? I'm like, oh, yeah. So basically, you buy the game, and you get these 7 chapters. There's 7 chapters that are going to be in the game, and it's got a ton of content. It's well worth the money. He's like, well, but don't you got to, like, pay for the extra chapters? And I just look at him like, what? What would make you think that? It's like, oh, yeah, I mean, just look at it. It's, like, locked. He thinks of it like Smash Ultimate DLC, you know? It's like, oh, this is stuff that's going to come out later. GTA 6, you buy it for $80, but actually, if you want the whole game, then that'll be $100. You gotta pay it up. Bro didn't know you get all 7 chapters for the $25 price tag. And ever since then, I have just realized that Toby is not selling this game as well as he could. There is so much content in this tight, beautiful package for $25. And there's people out there that don't even know that. They don't know that. They think they gotta pay $5 per chapter or whatever. It could be done better, the marketing, in my opinion. So I want to see some crazy, crazy stuff come out of this. I don't know what Toby has in mind, because I know he doesn't like to spoil things in trailers, but I guess we'll see, right? Shot in the dark. What if the Eggman is literally just a parallel of Eggman? As in from Sonic. Okay, you're cooking down. You're cooking. Not literally, obviously, but what if he's a scientist that was able to give Chris his soul, aka us? So, like, he's the second voice? in the void that gets rid of our like vessel and says like, oh, no one can choose who they are in this world or whatever. I don't know. Past me thought it was Kara. God knows who it is now. Eggman is actually a fun bet. I like that. The egg represents inconsistency, a spawn of freedom, and not sticking to Gaster's set story clearly bothers him. So, if the set story does involve the roaring group chat and in tandem Gaster, I guess the end of the world, well, it is a part of the prophecy, but it's also my deltarune, right? Gaster's deltarune. And that's why he built over it, right? That's why he built over it. He built over what was deltarune and made it my deltarune. And now we're coming in trying to mess with that. Specifically with the eggs, not the weird route. The weird route is somehow intentional, which kind of plays into time loop theory, if I gotta be honest with you. And the whole timelines of Undertale and the starting, stopping, jumping, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I gotta sneeze. I gotta sneeze. Am I finally gonna sneeze? Oh, he went away again. I can't sneeze in this room, man. I think this is the 4th time. This is the 4th. I can't sneeze. I can't sneeze. Whatever. I'll live. Oh, no bless yous, guys. It's okay. Like, yeah, Gaster is fun, but what if he's just a guy? A smart guy, but a guy nonetheless. I want it to be cool. I want it to be like 4th wall breaking. Maybe he's in a different art style, or he's like the 3rd dimension, Photoshop Flowey style, right? I'd like to see something fancy from him. The game's so good, he could get away with it. What's his master plan? He could get away with it. It really does just kind of market itself. What about Gaster? Also, any guesses on chapter 6? Okay, influence. Welcome to the stream. It's the roaring and the knight's identity. I haven't watched other people talk about this. I don't know if it's a common speculative thing. I just saw this newsletter like 40 minutes ago, but I skimmed over it, went live. So I think that's it. Because again, Toby says it's straightforward, shorter, straightforward, focuses on one aspect of the story. Many things are not touched on here. So a lot of the things that we're waiting on answers for will not get answered. It's going to be yet another tease while still giving us information we've been waiting nearly a decade for. Like the fact one thing will be clarified whether you're ready or not. I also agree. I forgot who brought it up, but bringing up the prophecy in the last panel, what sort of maybe a sacrifice that will be needed to be done to like make the roaring occur or something. I don't know. Maybe freaking Undertale's waiting for us in the bunker, right? Still can't sneeze theory. I can't. I'm so sorry, bro. It's the only consistent in my life, man. Reminder. Toby doesn't do merch for Lighteners. Yes. He brings that up, Fangamer. Where? Here. By the way, I told Fangamer not to expect to make too much merchandise for chapters 6 and 7. Are we finally going to get to see Azrael? Hope so. Are we... I don't know. I don't even know. I don't understand what this means beyond that, to be honest with you. Maybe he sees the Undertale cast as Lighteners, and if it focuses heavily on the kidnapped Lighteners, then maybe we, like you said, right? They won't introduce more Darkeners because maybe there just aren't more Dark Worlds. Wait a minute. Okay, I still am a believer in chapter 6 having a Dark World, right? But maybe we really are just going to be focusing more on the Light World characters and how they interact with the darkness. And in tandem, we're not going to see many fun new Darkeners, right? No more marketable plushies. No more sets. No more aquas, greens, blues, yellows, because there's no one left, right? They're just pure darkness, whatever the hell that may be. And I don't think that's very marketable, in my opinion. I don't think a creepy Icy's Pizza FNAF-inspired horror abomination will sell well as a plush, right? Maybe that's what he means. A focus on Lighteners and how they interact with the darker than dark world they live in. That'd be my assumption. What does that imply? Yeah, I guess I answered it. Hope you sneeze, take you Octo. I like how Toby addressed the criticisms of deltarune pacing by basically saying, trust the process, bro. Welcome to my deltarune. All right? In my deltarune, Flowerman's playing right now. You ride my ride, and it's a damn good one. BRB, no problem, Wef. Have you heard the latest news on Weird Route? Yes. I want to get to it. So, let's get through this. Recently, I finished writing a few more sequences towards the last third of Chapter 6 and rearranging the rooms to fit the new structure. Once we make these adjustments and tie everything together, we will be able to play a rough draft of the chapter from beginning to end. Barring any major restructuring, the main things that will continue to need development time are the boss of the chapter, not bosses, boss of the chapter, and polishing cutscenes. So, Toby's team is cracked. I know we all know this already, but Toby's team is crazy. I really hope they continue making games after this. I'm sure Toby has had new projects in the back of his mind that he's let, sit in the idea stage for years, right? I, as a creative, come up with stuff and ideas all the time. So I'm sure he can relate to, of course, focus on Undertale Deltarune, but I'm sure he has something in mind after this that he would love to do with this insanely talented development team that not only are they practically almost done with Chapter 6, right? I'd say I wouldn't be surprised if it's got 6 months left in the bank and then that's that, while simultaneously working on Chapter 7 and B. It's unreal, bro. It's unreal. Hero, what's up, man? It's been a minute. Was just watching your Chapter 5 VOD while working on some stuff. Dude, listen, you've been getting big on Twitter, you've been getting hit after that. I respect the hustle. Hell yeah, I hope you're enjoying the VODs. I should really turn that into a video, man. Whatever, I've been busy with other stuff. Yeah, newsletter, have you seen it? Because we're going over it, and it's ridiculous. I would not be streaming at 1:20 in the morning if it wasn't as cool as it really is. Toby low-key assembled the adventures to make Deltarune. Yeah, no. The person who made the night fight was like the original creator of Undertale Red, one of the first and one of the highest quality, most popular Undertale fan games from just ages ago. It's one of the only ones I remember Jacksepticeye playing from 2016 or something like that. Crazy. They made the night fight, arguably one of, if not the best, executed fight in the game. I really like playing it for fun in my free time. No problem. Yeah, no, this newsletter is. So yeah, boss. Development time are the boss of the chapter. Again, this is kind of implying we're not getting a dark fountain in Chapter 6. Am I crazy? The boss, period. The main things that will continue to need development time are the boss of the chapter. I really hope I'm not reading into this too much. But Toby writes with intention. He just does. But how could you make a whole chapter of Deltarune with only one boss fight? It sounds ridiculous. And maybe it is, but the boss of the chapter. Welcome back, Lev. Kind of worried about the shorter chapter length, but I trust Toby. No, honestly, Slime, this is my opinion. I appreciate short but sweet things. I think Chapter 5 was phenomenal. I think Chapter 4 was phenomenal. But honestly, this is a hot take, I understand. The third act of both of those chapters, and Chapter 3, honestly, I feel like it kind of, I don't want to say overstayed its welcome, but it feels like it's going to end, and then it just keeps going. And a lot of people like that, especially if you're playing it on your own, at your own pace. I'm sure the game just continuing when you think it's going to end is great, awesome, more content. But I appreciate things that, when it feels like it's going to end, it ends. You know what I mean? And so I don't really mind. I don't really mind that Chapter 6 has this shorter length. I think it's going to be more focused and streamlined. It's going to get to its point. It's going to play its cards well. And then we'll watch as the house of cards that has been built folds in the wind of a hurricane. It's a Technoblade quote. off topic, but can I just brag about how much I love my job and how lucky I was getting it? I get 40 per lot. I sweep, I'm done in an hour. It's super like chill. It sounds fun, honestly. And it is good money. Think what Craigslist is the place to go if you're trying to hustle. Oh, 10th of the workforce. Hell yeah, Don. I'm glad you're getting your hustle and I'm glad you're enjoying it. If this means less filler, I guess I'm on board. Filler. I don't really agree with the concept of people complaining about the filler, right? I think chapter 5 was really fun for what it was. People were just expecting A and they got a lot of B. But B is still really good. And now we're going to A. So in the grand scheme of things, like people are going to look back on chapter 5 and be like, man, that really was the last time we had fun, huh? Everything else is so depressing, like 6, 7, 7B. It's a lot of depression right there. Again, I think it's Toby's strong suit. He's also very funny, but I think it's his strong suit. But in tandem, having the more fun chapter is going to be a hell of a breath of fresh air in the long run. The fact that Toby told Fangamer that chapter 6 won't have much merchable characters, knowing that Toby doesn't allow Lighteners to have plushies. Again, oh, the music ended. Give me music back, please. Here we go. I really like the concept of these next 2 chapters being very Lightener focused on how they interact with the end of the world, and like instead of the dark world, it's just their world being covered in darkness, and the world was covered in darkness, right? And in tandem, like whatever is created from the world being covered in darkness does not create new darkeners. And we're just left with the evil depth monsters and then our heroes, the Lighteners. Because again, darkeners are based on the places they're built in and they're more fun and fantastical. Now we know that like because of Susie's Dark World, that most of them were based on Chris and Chris's history with the items in those spaces. So again, just I feel like we're pivoting to something very, very new territory here that will be able to answer a lot of questions for us. And again, just makes me think that we may not get a Dark World, which is crazy. It's either no Dark World or very unmarketable characters in said Dark World. No, I love chapter 5. I just think it's way shorter if you don't do all the extra stuff. That's fair, honestly. That's fair. I was doing all the extra stuff. And in total, also streaming, talking to chat, it was like a 16-hour stream or something like that over the course of 2 days. Right? It was like 12 plus like 4. So if you don't interact with the extra stuff, you could probably get through it pretty fast, right? Sally, no silly in chapter 6 and 7. I really doubt there's no silly at all. Like, surely Toby knows how to tell a joke, even in trying times, right? Oh, I hope so. Dude, I've never seen my boss or any coworkers. I've been here for over a year and I get a check in the mail each week. That's gas. Introverted, or you want to just like do work with like headphones listening to a podcast, that's actually the life. Like, I hate to say it, down, but it is. 2 other real jobs, landscaping and construction, but still. Either way, a hustle's a hustle, and if it's fun, it's good. Yeah, not to call chapter 5 filler, but it didn't answer much. It was very gameplay based, which I loved, but I guess chapter 6 will be the complete opposite. Yes. Again, I already stated it, but we will appreciate chapter 5 in the long run. I think it's my favorite one. I think it is. I love Flowery. I really grew on Flowery as a character. Sustingus, I'm falling. What a predictable creature. Your dad's my best friend. Sorry, once again, I kept the lady in. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop. I feel like chapter 6 might as well just be the shelter at this point, and chapter 7 is just the roaring, maybe? No. Hero, back it up a bit. Back it up a bit, Hero. Because, again, I brought this up already, but Gerson states that chapter 6 was the last thing the creator wrote before everything ceased, right? He got lost in his own creation. So when you think about it from that perspective, chapter 6 has to be the roaring. It has to be the end. So I think the bunker is the escape, right? In chapter 5, the weird route, Chris and Noel, they dip into the depths, aka escaping the roaring and going straight into the darkness. So chapter 6 is just everything leading up to that. It couldn't really be anything else because it has to be the end of the story. I'm 90% sure it's a money laundering thing. Hey, so long as I get paid, I'm not doing anything illegal. I can live with it. Hell yeah, bro. Chapter 6, 7 theory. Joseph, you're saying the things that people are afraid to say. Chapter 4 is the most serious one so far, and yet it still has a YouTube boss fight. Yep. Never doubt Toby's way to troll. Oh my god. Oh. No, what's wrong with my chat? No. Don't. You freaking slime balls. All of you. You disgust me. Every single one of you. Anyway. It's 1:30 in the morning, I think. I think some of my jokes can be a little on the mean side. Anyway, speculation, theories, Mike? Is that Pluie? Mike? Personally, I really don't read or watch many theories. I respect Toby for not doing that, by the way, so he doesn't convolute like his own vision in his mind. The second you start watching theories and stuff, your brain immediately is like, oh, this is now what I think. This is now my opinion. I'm not gonna think anything else. Oh, people think that the night is Noelle and Chris smashed together? Sure, yeah, I believe it. That 6-minute theory video gave me all the information I needed. Everything else is out the window. Toby's vision is out the window. And, you know, Toby's gonna read it and be like, oh, maybe I should have done that, actually. Maybe I should rewrite my whole story. He should stick to what his game is. That's because I already know what my game is. 6-1, ha! I love joking around with you guys. However, I think it's amazing that people think about the game so much. It's not an exaggeration to say that thinking about this game can be just as much of the experience as playing it is. I mean, yeah. Back in the Undertale days, game theory, how he carried the community on his back with his concepts and his ideas. How could you forget about Sans' Ness? And figuring out who the hell Gaster is. But so much beautiful just ideas and discussion and concepts and creativity comes from theorization and what the game could be compared to what it ends up being. I feel like that's something that you can kind of see with like Digital Circus, how it just ended. And I feel like the discussion for TADC is just gone. Like, it just fell off a cliff. Like, now that the story's over, there's nothing left to discuss and people are just kind of moving on to something else. So when we're in like this sweet spot of almost, like we're almost gonna get our answers, but we still don't have them yet, and people can just come up with whatever they want, it's such a cool time to be a part of something. I brought it up earlier in the stream, but this right now, this moment that we're living in, fellas, reminds me so much of Ultimate Custom Night. And when that was in development, and Scott had all the progress bars he was showing us, and all the different animatronics he was showing, and how people were following it week by week, day by day. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. Hello, Red Cap. So we all agree in Chapter 6 we are learning Rudy is the knight. No, obviously not. Papyrus is the knight. Rudy is dead. Papyrus is the knight. Noelle is going to crash out and cause the roaring. Carol is gonna tell us the secret Gaster lore, and Azrael is gonna show up at the last 5 seconds and be like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And then immediately the roaring is gonna kill everybody. A game theory, and I miss game theory. I miss MatPat. I think Toby would have fun watching the 3-hour long every possible night candidate lol. I love the concept of Toby watching what's it called? That one theory that's 1,000,000 hours long made by Molly Stars. Wow, I'm remembering the creator's name, but not the theory itself. Device theory. I love the concept of Toby just locking in and watching 12 hours of device theory. That's so funny, man. Bro, you are not Shakespeare. You right. I stop speak like Shakespeare. I speak how I want speak. Let's see. Anyway. Oh, to say that thinking about this game can be just as much as... Anyone who keeps thinking about it, like I have, gets my highest blessing. So, imagining what could happen and trying to think about the meaning of the game is very cool. Once again, the way Toby is playing with the bold text here, I really like it. However, I do think it's important to mention, sometimes you don't have all the information, or I had a different expectation about how certain info would be interpreted or combined. This reminds me a lot of how Scott would talk about his ideas and what he kind of wanted the story of FNAF to be, and then what it ended up becoming. FNAF had a lot of retcons in its story. Security breach the development in general. Something like Burn Trap just became an entirely different entity than what it was, mostly because his expectation of how people interpreted his story was not what actually happened, right? AKA Steel Wool, right? But in this case, I think what Toby is talking about is that people can get very lost in their own sauce. And when they do that, they jump to conclusions based on that sauce they got lost in, which isn't true to begin with. It is tarnished sauce. We're talking about uncooked, non-organic, nasty, rancid tomato sauce. Not that good stuff that Toby makes, right? And that is what he's trying to warn people about. Like, hey, theorization's great, but you get too lost. You're not gonna find where the children are in the forest with the cat and the thing and that quote. Lost where the children should, whatever. After chapter 5, I thought it'd make sense for chapter 6 to be the holidays house, but there's just way too many silly marketable darkener potential there. So now I just don't know. That's actually really fair, Hero. There would be a lot of fun to have in a Noel house Dark World. So maybe you're right, maybe it just can't happen. Again, I really like the concept of an 5's Dark World, and you couldn't do too much when it comes to marketability with 5's. I really like the concept of a horror FNAF-inspired 5's Dark World. I feel like it's kind of been teased at with like chapter 3, right? Tennis crash out. We go to the cooking thing, and then the 5's pass by. I don't know. It's all speculation, right? Always bet on Papyrus Knight, of course. Yo, Chris is the knight. They literally made a dark fountain in chapter 2. SMH my head. I mean, they did. They've been narking on themselves since day one. Duel's a sleeper agent and becomes the night theory. I'd love to one day, you know? I would never be able to make something with a popular fandom like Toby because I would gauge with all of the fan content. I think that's what happened with Goose. Always bet on Rory Night Theory, of course. Of course. No, yeah, I don't know. If I had a fandom like this, I'd get addicted. It's like a drug. Everything you make is just shared everywhere, sprayed everywhere. I mean, sprayed, ew. God, why I say it like that? I'm sure he sees a lot of the memes and stuff, you know? Like he brought it up here when he talked about Yellow, right? Yellow, he had 2 designs, an earlier one from October 2016. He had more of a beard and was a cool, collected guy. Then I redrew him later in January 2020. He takes some inspiration from Woody from Toy Story, just straight up narking on himself, right? He was foreshadowed a bit in chapter 3 with some bath curtains. I think that's kind of the full extent of the intentional cowboy foreshadowing I've done in my life. Just straight up narking on himself with the whole friend inside me stuff. So I'm sure he's well aware of what we're yapping about. He just doesn't engage in theories specifically, so he doesn't tarnish his vision for the game. Why is he yellow? Why wouldn't he be yellow? What else would he be? His name's Yellow. When you spare an enemy, their name becomes... Wait. Anyway, moving on. Where was I? Here. Sometimes you don't... Right. Sometimes you don't have all the information, or I had a different expectation about how certain info would be interpreted or combined. Anyway... Well, I think it's good to keep an open mind as to what will ultimately happen. Of course, you don't want to get stuck in your own fanon. You want to be open to whatever Toby's story unfolds, whatever has in store. Yes, we can English around here. I want to say that you guys should keep having as much fun as you can. Here, this. I'm glad he bolded this because I think it's one of the most important things he's ever written in one of these newsletters. And I quote, The speculative art, stories, and theories that you come up with while the game is still ongoing will forever be special, because this is the only time such things can ever be created. All of you are creating a time capsule unique to this single fleeting moment in time, like the one we're living in right now, right? And I think that's something to be incredibly proud of. Isn't it great that you're here right now, playing this thing as it comes out? I find this fascinating because I was a big, like, non-believer in chapters 3 and 4 releasing simultaneously. Yes, fine, I brought up before that I don't like when I get too much content at once because I like taking things slow and really ingesting them and take my time with them, being able to fully process and enjoy them, right? But because 3 and 4 were released simultaneously, we didn't get to have that moment between 3 and 4. We didn't get to have that time, right? Like he said, that time that's forever special. Because this is the only time such things can ever be created. We never got to theorize what chapter 4 would be. We just got it. And we lost out on fan content because of it. But I at least really do appreciate that Toby sees how special this is. Because this is when memories are made. This is the stuff that you're going to look back on in 10, 12 years. You can be like, damn, man. Yeah. That was the time, man. I remember when deltarune was coming out. I remember when X Game was coming out. This thing, that thing. I remember when I watched Endgame in opening weekend. There's tons of different memories from moments in time. You know what? Maybe the Roaring will be multiple Dark Worlds at the same time. Like you walk around town and you have to go through a school Dark World, icy Dark World, just none as long as others. That could be cool, actually. Dark World hopping? Everyone gets depressed and decide that they want the world to end. You gotta go between every single place. Wait, no! So close the fountain! Chris, Soul, do the thing! And you immediately jump over to the next place. That's funny. I could see it. People in the future are going to remember the time Gaster was a pirate in green. I'll never forget when Gaster was green. I made a whole damn short about when Gaster was green and in between, but also a pirate. Hold on, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Shorts. Wow! Look at that. Never will there be another moment in time where Pirate Gaster is as canon as it is today. Today! Good stuff, man. Good stuff. People in the future... Alright, I read it. This message warms my heart, dude. I've been playing this game since chapter 1. Dude, what do you mean it's gonna be a memory, dude? What do you mean it's gonna end, dude? Stop! Listen, Hero, you can join Susie in the fan club of, I don't want this to end, man. I don't want this to end. Can we go back? Can we go back? Can we go back? You've been around since chapter 1. I've been around since Undertale. Undertale, I was 10 years old. 11? 2015. 11. I'm 21 now. 22 in October. God, dude, you're telling me. I feel like I'm about to have like a quarter life crisis. 2 years and it's over. I really hope Toby makes something new, man. I really hope Toby makes something new. He better have some vision for some new thing and not just he thought of something when he was like 12 years old and that's it. Okay, career's over. How old is Toby? How old is freaking Tobias Foxington? Hold on. Isn't he like in his 30s? Toby Fox age. He's 34. He's 34. Come on. 34 years old. Bro's got so much damn gas in the tank. He's fine. He can make more games. Probably. I've been here since the Undertale AU era. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Good times. Weird times, but good times. It's really cool to see everything evolve. Yeah, the fan base is so chill now too. I really like that about it. Chapter 2 era was really fun. I'm glad I was there for it. I'll never forget when I played Chapter 2 for the first time. I'll never forget it. It was COVID. All my family had COVID. They all had, they just had the virus, right? And I was the only one who didn't have it because they went on a trip and I was home babysitting my cat who was pregnant and gave birth to 6 kittens. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But anyway, they came back and I dipped because I didn't want to get sick. And I was in my grandma's house for like a month. And that's when Chapter 2 came out. I'll never forget when I first discovered the weird route. Holy crap, I played the game on my dad's crappy laptop. I love Chapter 2. Probably my least favorite chapter, but you didn't hear that from me. Then I heard about the weird route. So long ago, too. What was that? 2021? It's 5 years ago. Hometown Roaring speedrun? That's what I'm thinking. No green Gaster, though? Hello. Did someone say Gaster? Hello, Wingdings, man. Yes, we're actually talking about you in particular. Me too. I was there too. I was there before the switchboard. Me, I was there. I was him. In that moment in time, I was him. Thought like early 40s. Don't do like that, Octo. Oh, you thought Toby was early 40s. Now, I think Scott is the old one. Between the two. Isn't Scotty's like 50? Scott Cathone, as Mark would say. Oh, wow, he's only 48. He's actually younger than my dad. Oh. Anyway, we went super off topic. Even more off topic, Markiplier's playing FNAF fan games again. When the frick did this happen? Hello? Oh yeah, guys, remember when I promised you guys that I was gonna play a bunch of fan games in that one video and you gave me a bunch of fan games in a list in the comments and then you just never brought it up? I never brought it up again? Oops, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, I love FNAF now. I'm addicted. Give me fan games. I want to see him play. Well, I actually haven't played Frick Bears 3. I want to see him play classics. I don't know. I just want to see him play more FNAF. Anyway, so off topic. God. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, well, I think it's good to keep an open mind as to what will ultimately happen. I want to say that you guys should keep having as much fun as you can. The speculative art, stories, and theories. Oh, wait, I already read this. Bruh. It is cool. Hey, anyway, what's Gerona? When I was younger, my older sibling would say stupid anime-style made-up moves and then pretend to attack me. As all kids do. One was, it's my Gerona. A couple other phrases are also references like that, including the unused voice clip, Blingo Blizzard. My siblings encouraged me to add, it's my hummingbird, as another quote to the game, but I haven't done that yet. Will I ever? Probably not at this point. What's Kiki? Kiki is my cat that won't shut up. She gets incredibly noisy every second you don't play with her. She watches her room on TV and didn't understand it was her. She's like if a cat's brain was put into a cat's body. Great explanation, Toby. The song in the room is the song that I sing to her every day because I love her. It's not fan service for you, but it's a Kiki service for Toby, I guess. But also for her. Even though she doesn't like it, she's bothering me right now. What a beautiful... Wait, I didn't even notice this. That's so cute. Yes, I want to see him play Tycoon Sons. Yes, I love Tycoon Sons. Try my new flavor. My wingding flavor. Yeah, I adore Tycoon Sons. In the creator pass? World sucks sometimes. Chapter 2 was such a special time, man. I don't know how to explain it, but the concept of Deltarune being anything other than what we saw with the Card Kingdom was just unheard of. For my Chapter 1 replaying younger self, 100%. Chapter 1 doesn't get enough credit for what it sets up and the amount of aura it has and the amount of cool characters it introduced and in general just how it set up Deltarune just as well as it did. Chapter 2 is when everything got enhanced and expanded and we got to really see what this game could be. I don't know. I sometimes I really do ask myself why Chapter 2 is my least favorite because I have so many cool memories with it. I think that the beat to Chapter 2 is just not as strong compared to the others, but I love what Chapter 2 does in general. And of course, the Weird Route is an insane highlight. Like, ridiculous. But I have a special connection to every chapter in its own way. Surprisingly enough, Chapter 4 is actually the chapter that I have the least amount of connection to. But it's so objectively gas, I can't put it at the bottom of the list, right? Gerona, Blingo Blizzard. Well, my phone is about to die, and I gotta walk 3 miles to get back home. Oh, I'll catch you in the VOD. It was fun sticking around for once. Live normally, I restart from the start, lol. Of course, down. Yeah, turn this off if you haven't already. I'll get home safe. Thanks for sticking by. I swear I've heard Blingo Blizzard somewhere in the game. Am I crazy? I think you just heard the flowery voice lines video enough times that you've decided in your brain that you've heard it already. Mandela effect, you know? Chapter blank will surprise you. I hope so, G-Man. G-Man living in the basement. You better do a damn good job, else I'm gonna be mad. Chapter 1 is, to this day, my favorite chapter. Redcap, you are base as hell. Base as hell. It is my 3rd favorite. It used to... So hard, man. So hard. It's really good. Wingle my dingle. Thank you, Nico. Chapter 2 theories were built on the smallest, most insignificant piece of dialogue, and it was fire. I'm trying to think back to those theories. I don't remember crap. I don't remember crap about those theories. Actually, I thought about maybe doing a series on this channel where we go back and look at some of those old theories and see how they hold up. I think that could be fun. And with the whole concept of what Toby just said with like, we're living in a very special moment right now where we almost have the answers, but we don't. Maybe it is about time for a series like that. I don't know. Chapter 2 felt like a reintroduction after the introduction. I don't know if that makes sense. I'd say so, because Chapter 1 was still when they were figuring everything out. It is definitely a black sheep in that sense, because it brought in mechanics and ideas that were fleshed out fully or were scrapped. Part of why I think a Chapter 1 remake could be fun. Not really needed, but it could be fun. I do like that Chapter 1 was basically just made by Toby. I think there's something special about that. I don't know. All I know is the team is cracked and they freaking cooked. They learned how to cook. Oh my god, I can't believe they released the chapters they do in yearly lengths. Like, people being worried about Chapter 6 being short is ridiculous because the chapters have never been this long. They've never been longer. I am so not ready for Chapter 6 and 7 because what do you mean Deltarune is ending? That's what I'm saying. Again, I think Toby will work on something new, but I mean, Undertale has stayed kicking throughout the entirety of Deltarune's existence. Of course, Deltarune has helped that, but like, I see all the UTDR like content creators, their Undertale videos get almost better views than their Deltarune stuff. It just goes to show the strength of Toby's work. And I'm pretty sure there's no way he's done after this. I don't think this will be the last we see of these worlds, even if it does end after Chapter 7. I've been here since Undertale's Kickstarter? Now that's crazy. I wish. I think I was like 8? Hold on. Now you got me curious, Nico. Hold on. When did Undertale's Kickstarter release? 2013 of June. I was 9. No computer, and I did not have the balls to ask my parents to give a random guy on the internet money for a video game that doesn't exist yet. Holy crap. Wow. It's crazy. My freaking youngest brother wasn't even born yet. Freak, bro. What? Or wait, no, was he? Nah, whatever. It fits the story. We can keep it like that. If Toby's cat is white and like a cat's brain and a cat's body, then how about a black cat with a dog's brain and a cat's body? It would be a good hunting pack, would it not? It's like describing a friend to someone that's never seen a friend before and you tell them to draw it. What do you guys know about Deltarune's true villain isn't the king? Undertale 2 theory. It's actually the queen! Woo! Hello, Deltarune Soul. I've been summoned by Chris, by the way. Play my Game Boy. I'm playing your Game Boy. Can't help myself. Hello, number 1 salesman, 1997. B. Why the B, Spampton? Why the B? Hey, Every. It's me. Want free Cromer? Friends, sick him. He's trying to sell merch in the chat. Get his ass. The idea of not waiting for any more Deltarune chapters is something I don't know how I'll survive. Again, it reminds me a lot of when I was younger and I would wait for like a new Smash game or like a new DLC, like a new fighter. I was big into Ultimate at the time, very big. I mean, hell, the Pro Controller I use is Smash Ultimate themed for when I play Deltarune on this channel. And in general, games, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I wish, Hero, I really wish I could sit here and tell you that something new will come. And something new will come that you can connect with as strongly as these things that we grew up with from our childhoods. That, but like, I don't know, man. It's hard. I think Undertale, Deltarune, and like FNAF are just lightning in a bottle, very special franchises that, while I was expecting for us to get more of them in the 2020s, we really haven't. But it's also just because, you know, we don't really grow up with these modern games like we did when we were younger. So obviously we don't have as much of a connection with them as you could, but I don't know. I think about this stuff every now and again. Like, when's the next big crazy indie thing gonna release? And I don't know. I feel like it hasn't really happened. You could look at something like Poppy Playtime, or you could look to indie animation like Digital Circus, but I feel like we haven't gotten something as special as a franchise like FNAF or Undertale Deltarune in a long, long time. So because this is ending, and because FNAF has been in the weird state it's been, it's hard. It's hard to think about what we would look forward to in the future, especially with how fragmented the internet feels now compared to how it was once before. Okay, I'm missing a lot of chat. Hold on. If you were there for the Kickstarter, you can call everyone LARPer. I'm sorry, bro. I was in middle school. Okay, you could talk to middle school Dualface and complain to him that he wasn't locked in from the start. I'm sorry. All right. I should have been on Kickstarter at 9 years old. Holy crap, it's Spamdex. Who is your main and ultimate? I mean, Dr. Mario, Bowser. I vote. Hold on. Ugh. He's been my GOAT. He always will be my GOAT. You guys should play Bowser's Inside Story. Holy, what a RPG. I love this bastard. I love this character so much. I love villains. And he's like an anti-villain, and he's funny. And he's like the only Mario character with like depth. The only one. He's got this sick ass design. He's like a snapping turtle. He's like Godzilla. I love Bowser. Bowser brings out like the kid in me. I love this dude. Anyway. Number one Bowser Glazer. And I never bring him up ever on this channel ever. Dude, I remember people theorizing who the DLC characters were going to be in the Ultimate. That's what I'm saying. There's these times, these memories. That's what Toby talked about in this newsletter. These moments in time where everyone is just together discussing something awesome about what could be mystery, right? Everyone loves a good mystery. It's crazy. All I truly have to say about Chapter Blank is, what is a knight to a king? You made the game, you told me. Hello, Nira Chube. Hello. It's all right. I don't know what that's to. Duel didn't see my Chris Goon theory comment. I think I could have lived without it, Wef. I think I could have lived without it. I like how I was trying to like quickly get through this and read the rest of the sweepstake, and I was reading chat for like 30 minutes. It's great though. It's a great conversation. Low-key, I don't. If there'll be anything that'll get me disconnected to a game is Deltarune did, man. I discussed it, but yeah, I agree. Bowser, hell yeah! Thank you, Nico. Listen, subscribe, right? I don't think I could do a better convincing tactic, a YouTuber ploy, than just liking the same stuff you do, yeah? Hold on, it drops. Crack, wait. I'd crack a mouse? Brother. What? What? I have immense respect for any heavy mains. Your go-to twin. Thank you, Red. Yeah, I kind of got really sick of Ultimate for a while. I just play casually. Not fun maining a heavy. No, don't do it. I don't recommend it. Ideas for decorating my Chapter 7 playthrough party for my friends? Caught in 4K? Kind of real. Don't put me on the spotlight. You wrote it into existence, Nico. All right? You need to be okay and content with the choices you make in this world. What do you mean, Octo? I'm a little confused. What do you mean ideas for decorating my Chapter 7 playthrough party? Like you're gonna invite them to your house? If that's the case, make it depth themed. Make everything dark and spooky. Get like lava lamps. Anything sort of gooey and weird looking. You can get like trying to think, any sort of LED glowy, so you don't have to actually have like an actual light on, and the whole room is illuminated by soft blues and purples. Again, I think lava lamps are a good play. You could even like tape over your window the bunker or something like that, like the bunker door. That's kind of cool. Like a big version of it. You just see a part of it. You could get real creative. Oh, Druid crack Bowser. No, wait. Hear them out. So it's okay. You know, I can't really argue with that. Okay, Bowser would... Whoa, oh, everyone is a freak. Everyone. Do you like yellow X blue? Yeah, of course. Why not? It's like one of the most canon relationships that we've had in this game. Okay. Other than the Yuri stuff. Toby is very pro his Yuri writing, you know? What does no one know about what a digital footprint is? Not here, no. No idea of it. You should create a dark fountain in your room. It'd be awesome. I got you, bro. Dude, this will be a gas dark fountain. I've got just like any indie property that you like is in this room. You know? Here, you can even have your own like, hold on. Everyone that's new here. You guys have been waiting for this. It's not a normal Sans fan game fight, okay? Because this Sans fan game is special, all right? Because the thing that you get from a dual-faced dark fountain is at the end of the weird route, you get to fight Sans, okay? But he's not a normal Sans. No, he's not a normal Sans. Because he's Sans with a broken leg. And that makes him cooler because this Sans has more than 1 HP. And that makes him like have aura and he's strong and stuff. So this is who you would fight in the secret boss fight, obviously. And it'd be sick. Do I have Hollow Knight stuff? I don't. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm a LARPer when it comes to Hollow Knight. I am. I played it in middle school with a friend of mine and I was too young and I couldn't understand it. I really respect Hollow Knight. One day I'm going to play it on this channel. There's no Hollow Knight stuff. Maybe the dual-faced dark fountain would suck. I'm sorry, bro. Cruzy found shot dead. Do you think Blue puts his snake in Yellow's boot? Where else would it go? What is this thumbnail? Ah, come on, you clicked it, Tony. That means it's good, ain't it? It's friend mixed with dual face. Hold on. Where is it? Poses. Is my OC? It's my guy. It's my dually boy. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here he is. Bang. Look at him. It's a friend face. Dual friend. Any fun? Yeah, no Hollow Knight stuff. Hello, Henry. Hey guys, what do you think about my Sans impression? Oh, it's really good, bro. It's real good. It's real good, Henry. Crazy shippers are in shambles. Bye, spammy boy. Whatever you say, bro. The Sans will be a fire darkener. He fell multiple times under streams. He wants to get revenge and stuff. He got sick of the fall, bro. He hated the fall. Where did that drop? Okay, I don't know what's happening. Always been on one leg Sans final boss. Hell yeah. My birthday was yesterday and I got a Hornet plushie. Happy late birthday, DC. Hell yeah. Oh man. Enjoy the plushie. I hope it wasn't that you ordered it and you actually got it on your birthday. That makes it a lot cooler. My room has a TV that I haven't used in a while. So maybe I'm cooked. Oh god. Hero, the TV's gonna beat your ass. There's like probably one like Pokemon figure or something in this room that's just like, it's gonna murk me. It's just absolutely gonna murk me. What is this picture from? I'll explain in a moment, Dubby. Stick around. We have not gotten to the main point of this. But yeah, if we made a dark world in this room, this abomination would be the secret boss. It would be this thing. It would 100% be this. Here's a Booble. Yeah. This is our secret boss. This thing, it looks like it's in agony 24/7. 24, and you know what I've done with this thing? The only thing I've ever done with this thing. Hi. The only thing I've ever done with this thing is throw it away. Yeah, so that thing will kill me. That thing is going to kill me and my entire family. Don't make a dark world. The things in your room will hate you. Opinions on Amalgam Knight / Crystal Knight? I like it. I like it. It has hella aura. It's really cool. It actually happening though. It's hard to say. But it's got aura and I like it. Kind of makes me think maybe that's what Toby meant by like, hey, you know, the theory stuff is cool, but you guys don't have all the information. And sometimes I have a different expectation of how certain info would be interpreted, and you interpret it some other way. So maybe you guys kind of fell off the path a little bit, and you should come back around. Think about this, right? He only said this after the Chris Noel amalgam theory came to light. After that theory came out, which I'm sure he heard about, maybe he doesn't digest these theories or really get into them, but he hears about them 100%. That's when he decides to tell us, hey guys, maybe we're straying a little far away from the path. Or he's trying to lead us astray. I don't know. I saw Digital Circus in theaters with my girlfriend. I saw it with a big group of friends. Really fun movie. I know it's, you know, some people are iffy about it, but I appreciate that it was made to begin with, you know? They have the freedom motif. Zubul Night Theory, of course. By the way, oh my god, whoa, I am behind on the chat messages. No one here would have magic because we're all humans. Oh, that's true. All you deltarune theorists are going to feel so stupid when it's revealed that the Roaring Knight is actually Varric from the Earthbound Halloween hack. Zwick, you're a genius. I gotta play that thing one day, you know? And I gotta read Homestuck. I've only seen the 7B page and the Chapter 5 page update. Well, I want to get to it, but it is essentially, it's this. Which, okay, we're gonna get to this. We will get to this. I know I've been doing a lot of yapping. A lot more people in the chat than I'm used to. But just, holy, there's so much to talk about with it, which means we're all cooked. She was my favorite TADC character. Oh, really, Dubby? My uncle, Zubul, is actually his favorite as well. They're a great character. I like him a lot. Opening a dark fountain in my friend's bathroom just to prank him and embarrass him. I don't know why they reminded me of the meme of the guy. It's like, oh, waiting for bro to get back so I can prank his ass. It's like day 1, day 2, day 5, week 2, whatever. He never comes back. I agree. I don't think the knight was supposed to be some old character that we just tunnel vision too much. Maybe? Again, I think it'll probably end up being just something like Des or Carol or some crap. Watch it be Carol. God, it'd be funny if it was Carol. I actually really like Rudy Knight Theory. I think Rudy Knight Theory is fun. And it has a good basis. It really does. I don't think Chris Cell Knight is possible because people who never play the weird route dealing with the consequences of the weird route doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's true. It's true, Red. Like, if you just play the game normally and it's like, oh, well, I don't know, because, like, statistically, people will do the weird route. So, if the knight is Chris and Noel, like, it will exist. Statistically, it will exist. It's not like, oh, if no one played the weird route, there would be no Roaring Knight and everyone would live happily ever after. Like, people are just gonna play it anyway, no matter what. Toby Fox, before he releases Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, he could be like, please, everyone, don't do the weird route. Please, 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 please. It's the only way we get a happy ending. Is it keeps track of everyone's Steam statistics. If no one plays the weird route, then the Roaring Knight is never made, and everything's happy-go-lucky, sunshine and rainbows. Like, it's not going to happen, you know? So maybe, in essence, that is why it could still happen, and it could still affect the normal route, because it's like an inevitability, so to speak. But I still think it's very iffy for Cell Knight. They made my Hornet plushie caked up. That's a benefit. What are you talking about? Wait, I have a Rousey plush. Do you think he'd be like actual Rousey and join my party and save me from my messed up evil Tenna? I think it would be the actual Rousey plushie just in the Dark World. Like when you do Fluffy Guard, he just turns into the plushie. It'd be that following you around. Its magic may vary, you know, from plushie to plushie. You should honestly play the Earthbound Beginning Super Nintendo fan remake. I heard about that. Wait. It's called like, I don't remember what it's called, but I know it. I saved it. I have like a playlist where I keep a lot of like fan game stuff, like trailers and things. I saved it. It looks cool. Didn't they just release Chapter 2 of it, or Chapter 2 is now in development? It seemed really cool. Hello, Sonic. I'm hoping shorter primarily means like straightforward and only 45 minutes shorter than normal rather than like hours shorter. Well, that depends on what you think the average chapter length is. For me, Chapter 5 lasted without the weird route, and I know I stream, so I talk with chat, but like Chapter 5 interacting with everything was like, it was like a 16-hour game. It was long. I'm terrified to make a video because the idea of going through all that footage scares the crap out of me. So like even a chapter that's like It takes me like 6 hours to get through, 8 hours to get through. Like, hell yeah, great. That sounds awesome. After chapter 7 Weird Route, your house address will appear on the screen and tell me if someone airs like your house. No, Toby, please. I have a career to uphold. Toby. I've been around since 2015, Toby. You don't understand, Toby. Please, Tobias. Can I call you Radiation? Can I call you Radiation? Between you and me, brother. Just them. You can airstrike them. I don't care if you airstrike them, all right? Take the chat. All right? They'll live. They're okay. Just listen. Just ignore me this one time, you know? I just remembered I had a gay rainbow Huggy Wuggy plush I bought for the funnies. I don't know if that means I'm safe in my dark world or if I'm even more cooked. No, Hero. It's the opposite. That thing is out to help you. It's gonna be like you're about to die in some like cutscene or whatever, and then the gay rainbow Huggy Wuggy is gonna come out of nowhere and save your ass. Omega Wuggy. Chapter 5 was like 6 hours to you. Okay, so I could see you being like 4. I could see being like 4 if it's on the shorter side. Anything below maybe 3, but like we're pushing it at that point. And don't forget, Henry. I still believe in the aborted Weird Route being a thing for you to look forward to. So don't be too certain. Like, oh, maybe it's not gonna have as much content that I would be satisfied with. And in tandem, chapter 7 is probably going to be close to double of what we got in 5, but we'll get there. I keep trying to catch up with chat so I can go back to this, and it's not working. I need to start skimming a little faster. I have access to some bees, so I take my hornet to the beehive once in a while. Oh, that's really sweet, actually. The full game is done for the Super Nintendo version of Earthbound Beginnings. Am I thinking of something else, though? Isn't that like an entire remake for Earthbound Beginnings? Super Nintendo version. There's a Super Nintendo version of Mother 1? Because of pink, we know that plushies can become alive in the dark world. Oh, whoa. Green. Thank you for the jammin'? 200 jewels. That's actual money. Thank you, Greenbacker. What did you write? Jammin'. That's not writing. Thank you. Holy crap. That's, I think, the biggest jewel donation I've ever gotten. I don't even think... Bro, I haven't even gotten to your messages. Okay, wait, hold on. Good. Chapter 5 took you a good 4 to 5 hours. Although that's primarily just main stuff. I hear you. Okay. Yeah, so 3 to 4. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be as long as like chapter 1. Chapter 5 killed my grandma, okay? It took me 9 hours. So I'm saying it's like different between people. Hello, Dark Phantom. Woke Huggy Wuggy Flowery. Steamers playing the game expecting to last hours, only to see Rudy dying and Noel creating the roaring accidentally and the game ends in the first hour. We like walk into one room, and it's just instantly Noel with the knife. Shh, boom. Again, I love the concept of Azrael showing up in the last like 10 seconds. And he's like, hey guys, what's up? It's me, Azrael. And then the roaring just obliterates him. Hello, Greenbacker. Thank you for the jammin'. 5 more months till chapter 6, right? I think it's coming out June. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Wait. I did not. Wait, hold on. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. It's 11 months. It is 2:12 in the morning. Maybe I'm not doing my math properly. Late July or mid-year. I could see June. I could see June, Dark. Truthfully. W money, W green. Thank you. I appreciate it. Bye, DC. Yarg. Let's get down to business and value the fun. Hi, my name is Dingaster, and yes, I am a pirate. I sent the soul from chapter 1 to be a lovely pilot. Can I get this guy up here? Nah, his ass gonna fall. Hello, Capiosis. What's your current theory on Chris getting used up as we've seen in the Sword Route? Okay. So I was kind of hoping we could get to chapter 3 in the newsletter before I brought up something like this. Chris getting used up. Okay. So I do still think that Deltarune and Undertale mirror each other in a lot of ways, right? It's literally a parallel story. So the whole concept of being used up reminds me a lot of how Kara backstabs the player in the end of the game, right? and then there's nothing left in the genocide run of Undertale. So, Chris getting used up, I haven't fully thought it out, right? But it seems to me, thank you, Green. Holy crap. Hello, thank you, Greenbacker. Seriously. All right, I appreciate it. Jaylee, I appreciate it. Well, hold on, I'll never be able to catch up if I don't keep yapping. So, yeah, like in the sword route, obviously it's based on the prophecy, or it's based on Lord of the Hammer, which based on the prophecy, so its information is iffy at best, but we have to get stronger, which we've been doing. Then we got to kill all of our friends, which in chapter 7, you guys already know that we're expecting a Susie fight, a Rouse fight, a Sham fight. The music is about to stop. Hold on. I want my music back, please. There we go. We're gonna be fighting our friends. Susie is going to tear us limb from limb, atom by atom, molecule by molecule. We are not gonna stand a chance. Rouse I mean, listen, he's like the flame of jealousy or whatever, right? Bro, they're gonna beat our ass, okay? So, Chris getting used up. I guess I didn't fully really answer the question. It would have to correspond with whatever the hell is the main goal of the weird route, which so far all we know of it is Noelle wants to see the real version of the world, get to the other side of the lake, get stronger to proceed. As long as they keep following us, I don't know. It's hard because it depends a lot on Noelle. Noelle might end up killing Chris. I don't know. I couldn't really give you a exact consensus capiosis. I want to keep going, but it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Whether friend ends up taking Chris's hand and then they get freaking, I don't know, shot in the head by Gaster, we'll have to find out. I start my next college semester soon. What should I do about fear of change and progression? Holy crap, I'm not going to be able to keep going. Henry, change and progression. It's very hard. It's very hard. I have moved a lot growing up. It's kind of hard for me to talk about, honestly, but change is important and necessary for you as a person to grow and to develop and become more of a person in general, more well-rounded and you could say more interesting, but it's not the best way to describe it, right? So, it's very okay and very natural to have a fear of change and progression, but exactly like you said, it's progression. It's a good thing. I wouldn't be worried about it. I would try your best to adapt and accept and find the pros and the positives in these new things occurring. Take advantage of opportunity instead of fearing what the change could do to what you have right now. Allow the new to add to your life. Thank you, Green, for the 6-7. Don't spam 6-7, guys, please. Sometimes I'm glad I don't record / stream my playthroughs because every time I walked into a room, I was like, wait, what if I missed something? Then proceeded to backtrack the whole game. I do that all the time, Hero. I totally understand where you come from that, with that. As someone who streams and tries to get everything to the best of his ability when it comes to Deltarune, because I care a lot about the secrets and important stuff. I don't like when people miss it when I'm watching. I get it, for sure. But, I don't know, it's also cool to have a record of your time with it, to be able to look back on. Hello, Deltarune enjoyer. We're actually entering endgame now. We are. It's terrifying to think about. It really is. I can't believe how many people are watching right now. I don't know how many people are watching. I don't care. I'm having a good time. That's all that matters. January 1st for Chapter 5 Trust. Question. Chapter 6 and 7 connected? Maybe? I mean, yeah, they're all connected in essence. The one will lead to another and to the other, Chapter 6 will be leading to the roaring. The roaring will happen. And then Chapter 7 is the aftermath. They escape to the bunker. The world's over, and we're going to try to, kill Gaster or whatever. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Newsletter stream, except when we talk to chat and not actually talk about the loser. Don't money. I'm trying. Newsletter stream, except we all keep talking about how... I'm here to leak Chapter 6 OST. I did so much backtracking in Chapter 5 because I thought I saw the pink door earlier in the chapter. It happens late. Compared to Chapter 4, where it's super early. Chapter 6, 7, Megalovania, please. I need this! Susie Megalovania, please. Well, I feel like because Susie is like the axe of justice and, you know, the hammer of justice, the spear of justice. Maybe an undying leitmotif would make more sense. It's called SNG that plays after Susie and dies and Gas reveals Papyrus. I always thought using up character was just treating them as a tool instead of a person. Oh, that's actually a fun way to look at it. Huh, and eventually disposing them when they're no longer of use. But again, Dark, that implies that we have a goal. What the freak is our goal? I don't know what our goal is. The Darkeners don't matter, but we've killed one Lightener so far. Wow. Great job in the weird route so far, fellas. One Lightener. And he's not even dead because Toby doesn't have the balls to kill off Birdly. So it's hard to say what our goal even is. Hello, PC Lucario. You get to... Okay. I can't read this. I threw off my hat and ran across the room when I scrolled down and saw the huge 7B. No, listen, I'm only streaming now at freaking 2:19 a.m. because of that feeling. I had that feeling. It's just one of those feelings that happen every once in a while when something insane happens in your life and I needed to talk about it, you know? I'm sure other people did as well, so here we are. Chapter 7 will have the hardest boss fight in the game, in which Chris comes directly to your house to stab you. No, 28 stab wounds! 28 stab wounds! A lot of playtesters struggled with this one. I work with Toby, so I know. Sorry for the hard question. No, Henry, I hope I was able to give you a good answer. Thank you for the 6-7. What the hell is going on? We're yapping. We're yapping. A lot of yapping, XLeb. Wait, the 6-7 has unique animation? I didn't know that. Now you do. I DM'd you a link to Earthbound Beginnings, Mother 1 SNES fan remake. Thank you. Where? Like YouTube? Or my Twitter? Either way, thank you. I'm going! Chapter 6 comes out April. It'd be funny, but in June. I'd expect it in June. Hello, Rision. 6 goes up, 7 goes down. 3 questions. Duel, please yap faster. I'm trying! I really hope that 6-7 joke will be gone from Earth before Deltarune's ending. Oh my god. Can we get a stream highlights, but it's just whenever Bowser is mentioned? I mean, that'd be my type of thing. Oh, Twitter? Okay, Zwick. I'll look into it for sure. I should play Inside Story one day. I should play Inside Story on the channel for fun. When I'm like, I got 1 million subs and I can play whatever the fudge, it doesn't matter. I went to an arcade and got 5 stars on all 3 Deltarune dance songs, Dummy Death by Glamour and Megalovania and Gaster's theme. Oh, they have Deltarune songs at your arcade? That's sick. Maybe Chapter 3 explains Chapter 5 normal route and Chapter 7 side B. While Chapter 4 explains Chapter 6 normal route and Chapter 7 normal route. Oh, so, okay, yeah, because Chapter 4 is the end, the prophecy, right? And then Chapter 5... no, Chapter 3 is the sword route, which would explain the weird route. Right. I could see that, Green. I could see that. Again, I'm still thinking about the Chapter 6 border route, but we'll see, right? I'm at the end! Can't wait for disbelief rules. That'd be funny. I'm just kidding. They don't got Gaster's theme, but I got the other one 5 star. Oh, I didn't even process that. That's good, bro. Stream yapping about Bowser highlights. Oh, God. Gaster GBT, generate me a chapter all the Lightners will love. ChatGPT, make Dualface continue talking about the newsletter. We're actually fairly far into it. New merch. Wow, guys, look. We're about to get to the point of this stream. Fangamers released new merchandise for Chapter 5. More items are planned, as well as some items for previous chapters too, like a Queen Plus or something like that. Once again indicating, as much as Toby likes to say that he doesn't dabble with theories and he doesn't want to tarnish what he thinks about his own story, he's very locked in on this fandom. They know. He heard that one Twitter user that complained, "Where's the Queen plushie?" And yeah, here it is in the newsletter. By the way, I told Fangamer not to expect to make too much merchandise for Chapter 6 and 7. I know we already discussed it, but the concept of a Lightener-focused double chapters, including 7B, so 3 chapters, it's all Lightener-focused, and again, the whole concept of the Undertale roster, your Sans, your Papyrus, your Undyed, your Alphys, your Toriel are Lighteners. They're Lighteners. That implies that they're going to have a main focus in these next 3 chapters. Fun fact, fellas. Fun freaking fact. Guess who we haven't seen for this entire game? Yeah, I'm the Roaring Knight, fools! It was me the whole time! Yeah, we need to see him. And I still think he's gonna be mad important. Because why not? My king. I want to see, bro. I want to see the Undertale characters take some damn spotlight. Like, why not, bro? Make it fan servicey. I don't care, as long as it actually fits into the story. I'd love that. I'd love that so much. I love it so much. I would love to see how these characters truly think about the world they live in. Their takes on the prophecy, the world actually ending. Like, maybe that's why this will be so dark, is that truly people understand that we're at the end of the line here. And it's over. It's genuinely over for everyone. And maybe like true pacifists, it'll be up to us to save everyone from the big threat, right? Like the Azrael Dreamer or the Flowey that comes and tries to kill everyone. This overwhelming presence that we can still, with the power of determination or whatever, right? Hope, shadow dreams, yeah, that. We'll be able to save the day or something like that. What's with the Bowser stuff, and why did they whitewash blue on the Chapter 5 shirt? I don't think it's intentional. But the Bowser stuff was from earlier. Someone asked about my Smash main. And listen, we got some Bowser believers in this chat, and I respect the hell out of that. Deltarune prerequisite reading material. Undertale, Homestuck, Mother Trilogy, every Final Fantasy game, every book Deltarune references, etc. Isn't Fran based on some one like old ass novel or series or something, Japanese folklore book thing? My king. I wish Toby, oh gosh. I wish Toby didn't have his stupid rule so that I want a Susie plush. I want a Susie plush so bad, Zurk. You have no idea. You have no idea how bad I want a Susie plush. It's not even funny. I don't get the rule. Maybe one day we will. I don't get the rule. I believe that if Chapter 3 was completely in the Dark World, Chapter 6 must have no Dark Worlds. But maybe Castletown. I can't fathom the concept of that. Whether we get like a icy FNAF inspired Dark World that doesn't have any marketable characters in it because it's a bunch of creepy abominations. Hero brought up a great point of the holiday house being too marketable. It would have too many fun characters in it that could be plushies. It's so hard. Just the concept of no Dark Worlds is so beyond me that like when it comes out and it ends up being true, it's like, oh, yeah, obviously there was going to be a Dark World, but like it wasn't in this moment. Always bet on Papyrus Night. The story gets darker yet darker. Lend me your power. I have this scenario in my mind. Green! Thank you for the 6 and then like the thing that comes after the 6. Thank you very much. God, give me a lot of money. Green, I appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. I have this scenario in my mind where Rules actually tries to become the Knight's second in command. And then the Knight just stabs him, transforming him on a corrupted Titan-like Darkener. That got really twisted. So, like, he tries to aura farm and do his thing. He gets killed, and he becomes, like, amalgamized into a corrupted Titan-like Darkener. He becomes, like, really strong. I mean, Rules has shown that he's actually a surprisingly strong character. So, like, I wouldn't really, like, entirely doubt that. Like, maybe not it will happen like that necessarily, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Especially with how the roaring occurs and all the darkeners turn to stone. I don't know if any of them could stop that necessarily. Seems like Rouse is already like, you know, he has it ingrained in his mind. Like, oh, I'm going to be dead in like 2 days, so. Eh. And then that's just a whole boss fight to introduce you to this concept. It's silly, but I don't know. I like the idea of Rules actually doing something meaningful. I like Rules. So you know what? In this moment, Hero, it's canon. Omega Flowery. In Pacifist, we support Susie and help her break the prophecy. In Weird Route, we force the prophecy to break by using Noelle. In Nintendo, we ruin Susie's life. Let's go. I wish Fangamer wasn't so expensive for any country that isn't the US. Yeah, no, we got privilege. I'm sorry, Nico. I'm still yearning for a Rouse plush. Sorry, fellas, my throat. I don't know. It started like going a little bit. It could be worse. You know, it could be Glitch Productions. At least when you buy merch from Fangamer, okay? At least when you buy merch from Fangamer, it comes in good condition. You look at this. Look at my Tenna. It came spotless. There's not a speck of anything on this thing. Nothing. It is so clean. And you know why? Because it was bubble wrapped. It was bubble wrapped and it was shipped in a box bigger than itself. One day I'm going to make a massive rant on Glitch and how they ship their stuff. One of these days, fellas, you're going to see a video about me just tearing them a new one. Because at least Fangamer, they understand how to package something. Damn. So annoying. Why are you, your entire company revolves around merch, and then you send merch and it's damaged? I don't care if it's the freaking shipping people or whatever. Make sure you ship it better. Ship it with, but they don't ship with bubble wrap. Anyway, holy tangent. Maybe Gaster created Friend, Sans Papyrus, and all anomalies. Maybe if us players can change fate, then a virus could too. So you're saying like the Roaring Night group chat is like a virus? Friend, Sans Papyrus, and all anomalies. Like the Gaster followers? Maybe if us player could change fate, then a virus could too. I like the concept of these two clashing forces, right? The player and Gaster and his crew wanting to make their own deltarune and us wanting whatever we want, right? To break the game, to get more content, for it to be more like genocide. Orange. Just kidding. There's a Titan. Hello, Nodded. My take on the one thing will be clarified is that it's going to either be the true nature of Friend or that Gaster is not the author of the prophecy like most people assume. That's a crazy take, Alpaca. I was just thinking like, you know, it'd be who the knight is and then the roaring would happen. Because I feel like Gaster and Friend stuff is more depths, you know? It's more of a depths topic, so it would lead better into chapter 7 than being a part of chapter 6. But I don't know, maybe it's like a Majora's Mask thing, chapter 6, where it's like the end and the end of the moon's gonna come and kill everyone, aka the roaring, and everyone is just dealing with that, coping with it. Noelle doesn't want to have fun because now she realizes everything's not a dream anymore and everything sucks and she hates it here and she wants, I don't know what she wants. Her freaking father is gonna die and that's gonna bring everything together, all these characters rushing together to try to prevent something, and I don't know. Another fountain needs to be opened for the roaring to occur. So the whole idea of no dark fountain doesn't even make sense. How many Aussie your water bottle? 64? I don't know, but it keeps me hydrated. Glue. Here I come, San Francisco. Mysterious wind. Hear me out. Opening fountains on darkeners creates titans. Chapter 4 was Cupton? That's why they're so weak and had ever higher OST. You lost me, Xleb. Opening fountain on darkeners creates titans? Holy crap. Thank you, Green. Thank you again. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. The 6 and then the number that comes after 6. Thank you. God, that's like 5 donations. Thank you. Idea for hype moments in Aura. Susie steals the knight's sword and slashes them for the finishing blow. Octo, get him in the writing booth. Now. Another one. Holy crap, Green. Yeah, actually flexing with thank you, though. Hi, guys. I think I found a glue. Another one! I'm about to be a millionaire, fellas. I'm Brazilian, so I'm serving off a plush knockoffs. But you didn't hear that from me. Hey, I heard some of those knockoffs are pretty damn good, okay? And they make plushies of characters that don't actually exist. So maybe you're doing pretty good yourself, you know? Dude, my Pomni badge from the movie still hasn't shipped. I bought that movie stuff and it's still not here and it's pissing me off. Mr. Antenna TV time! Duel, have you considered this? Rouse is Azrael. Israel? No, I'm just considering this now, Nico. The writing was on the wall this whole time. I wonder how Sans affects both chapter 7s because he telephoned Kara / Frisk post Undertale. I don't know. Sans is a tricky one because he comes from Deltarune, right? Right, he brings it up in Undertale. I know your type. So, open the chat and got jump scared by another Brazilian. I mean, I don't know what time it is for you fellas. but maybe I'm assuming at a great time for you, you know? 2:30 in the morning. Your dad's my best friend. But Sans, I mean, it'd be cool. Hype moments in aura indicates another Sans fight. The breadcrumbs indicates he's following us. His connection, Gaster Blister's connection to Gaster Papyrus, his connection to Sans. Clearly, there's something here that we are being misled on. I really like the idea of Papyrus being the one that created the timeline, like, machine that lets you jump between timelines. Though it would make more sense for Gaster to have built that. Just because I want Papyrus to do something. Just kills you. Ah! Thank you for the money. Did you steal your mom's credit card? Maybe. Also, Rousey is a femboy monster version of Chris. I'm leaving now. Bye. Excellent. What a predictable creature. How did Kara backstab us? I don't get it. By, like, betraying us at the end? You know, Undertale, we grow with them. Kara's like a sponge. If we do good things, they are more maintained and controlled and accept what we do. If we attack everyone in Genocide, they get stronger and stronger and then turn on us saying like, oh, well, this is what you wanted, right? I don't remember exactly what Kara says, but it's essentially that, and then they kill us. And he's still able to teleport magic, so he's still a big question mark for me. Oh, yeah. Because all the Lighteners are normal. So how would he be able to... Oh, shoot. Wait, Octo, that's a great point. I never considered that. I'm so pro... Like, Sans Undertale is Deltarune Sans, right? Deltarune Sans is actually Undertale Sans. God damn, Green. Holy. Thank you. I know these things are not freaking... Redcap, thank you for the $2. Holy crap, fellas. I'm glad you're enjoying the 3 a.m. yapping session. I almost didn't do this stream. Just for fun, because, you know, cool hype moments in Aura. Yeah, that's a great point, Octo. It really is. What am I doing with my life? It's okay, Aquila. These are the moments we live for. Get a chance. Hello, Lulu. Maybe we're fighting Vessel because Vessel equals Roaring Knight. I mean, something I always found interesting about the Knight is when they roar. You could see like that eye inside of them, which I think is like kind of a physical representation or maybe like a parallel to Chris's soul, you know? So the idea of the Knight being a vessel to something else, right? I kind of like the idea of possessed to death theory. I've always been a fan of that. I think it's fun. Oh my God, Redcap, what? Yeah, so the idea of like the Knight being a person that, or a Lightener that was possessed by darkness, and in tandem is like being controlled by it. It's like the heart of it, which gives it its like insane power. Kind of being the idea of like Azrael, where you're mixing a human with a monster, or like a Lightener with darkness. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of stretching. I'm just yapping at 3 in the morning. Hello, 2D. I'm so scared for the next 2 chapters. We really need to get to the end of this newsletter, man. I really want to talk about my some other things about this, but we'll get there. I promise you we'll get there. Where did my thing go? Oh, hello. Hello, Duel. Hello, friend face. By the way, any opinions on the whole Azrael Knight theory? I low-key subscribe to it. Aquila, I don't know enough about it. Maz, a friend of mine, likes Azrael Knight theory, but also he doesn't understand the lore. He just gels with it because he's like, what else would Azrael do? And Rousey, because he thinks like... He told me one point that he thought that Rousey was being controlled by Azrael, like it's like a video game, like how Gaster is watching the screen. So he thought like Azrael's there playing as Rousey with a controller or something. I don't know enough about Azrael Knight theory. Thank you, Redcat. Genocide and regular Undertale was so fun. I hope there's a hard boss fight in 7 beat. Has to. I'm expecting a Sham fight, maybe in chapter 6, but I don't know. I think in chapter 6 we'll get that Sham fight. But a Gaster fight, a friend fight, a Susie fight, a Rousey fight. These are things that can only really happen in a weird route. That is what I think people appreciate so much about the weird route, or Genocide in general. Just how it twists the game and it turns the heroes into villains. And they become like the villains, our villains, right? The people we're fighting become the true heroes. Because they're now against us, but they're still on the right side of the coin. I've always loved that about Undertale and Toby's games in general, on how they can be so fun and lighthearted and then so twisted and messed up at the same time. So I'm sure we'll get something like that. You play Undertale Yellow? I played some of Undertale Yellow. I played up to Starlow's desert section. I actually recorded it like years ago on my old channel, where I only uploaded like 2 videos to it. Thank you, Green, for the gold damn coin. It's so shiny. Oh, 2 of them. Oh, 3 of them. Oh, 4 of them. Oh, 5 of them. Oh, 6 of them. Oh, 7 of them. Oh, 9, 10. What the frick? Okay, thank you. Holy crap. Bro is giving me his entire life savings. I really do appreciate it, though. Yeah. Undertale Yellow, something I also want to play on this channel one day. Seems like a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Well, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I loved what they did with the Snowden area with Marlo or Marlin. Marlin, yeah, so gorgeous, and the music there is amazing. Hello, Rainbow Stars, like the Mario fan game. If we're believing, oh, I'm so far behind. If we're believing that Noelle is supposedly the angel, I believe that. I think the angel can be representative of multiple things in this game, being Noelle and the soul, or related to it. Would the roaring be her heaven that the Fun Gang has to banish, as stated in the legend Rousey tells us? I think so. Like, think to Caddy. Caddy's dialogue, right? Caddy, I think that's her name. There's like 2 Caddies in the game, right? Where she says like, don't let Noelle and Susie get together. You're gonna like, something terrible is gonna happen if you let Susie and Noelle get together. I forget their exact thing, exact lines, but they're very anti the Yuri. And it's probably because that's what leads to the end of the world, so to speak. So I could see it. I could see it like we're banishing her heaven. Maybe she loses the plot so bad because of Des, and then Rudy, let's say he dies, that she like wants the roaring to happen because she doesn't give a frick anymore. It depends what the roaring like represents for them. Covering darkness, we're not specified what it means for the Lighteners, other than it just being bad, because obviously. What do we make of the thing that will be clarified, whether we're ready or not, in Chapter 6? Sorry if you already talked about it, I just got it. It's all good, 2D. I personally, without hearing other streamers or other people's opinions, other than everyone talking here, that last prophecy panel in Chapter 4, so what needs to occur to have the roaring happen, and the knight's identity. I think those 2 things are going to be the main things that are revealed in Chapter 6, and that is going to lead directly into Chapter 7, which is us dipping through the bunker when the roaring happens, and that's how Chapter 7 and 7B will correspond with one another, because we go to the depths immediately in Chapter 5's Weird Route, and obviously Chapter 7 is going to be like Susie creating her own story, like Gerson said, the pen, and us making our own fate. Because, I mean, Gasser didn't write it. He fell into his creation or whatever. Possessed Death's theory is goated. We all know that the roaring is covered in snow, though, right? Right? Is it? Oh, because of the blizzard? The snowstorm? Maybe. They're definitely connected. Hype moments in Aura. Chris summons an army of floweries to keep the Titans busy. Like Invincible. Like type of the Fun Gang to stop the night. Dude, have you guys seen the pixel? Like the flowery seed on the night, like that one little pixel. People are looking for the stray pixel that's in every chapter, and it was on that one frame of the night, implying that like flowery used like leech seed on the night and left something behind. So then this can happen. The army of floweries. W buddy. Not a fan of Azrael Knight, in part because it'd be repetitive. True, it would. I want the story to parallel, not to be the same thing. Azrael plus Chris original human soul equals possibly the Roaring Knight. Azrael plus Chris, original soul. Again, I feel like having Azrael be a part of the whole Knight thing, I agree with 2D in that sense. That we shouldn't like trudge old water. But, I mean, Azrael having some sort of importance, I think is important. It reminds me of like in Chapter 1, when Toriel says like, what did she say? It's like, oh, when Azrael comes home from college, will he still care about this old little town, or will he remember this old town? And it makes me think, like, is he coming? Is he just gonna show up to the end of the world? Like, does he seriously just not matter? I don't know. I don't understand Azrael. He confuses me. Noelle equals Angel Des equals Knight Susie equals Dragon Chris could alternate current story. Noelle equals Angel Des equals Knight Susie. Dragon Chris. You're Green, you are in this sauce a lot deeper than me. I appreciate the money you sent me though. I've no-hit everything this game has to offer. I need to do that. I had a challenge series in mind that would force me to learn the no-hits for everything. The game has gotten too easy to the point that I first tried pink itemless. Yeah, first tried. Oh. I really hope we get something harder than Sans eventually. Redcap, I think you're in the percentile of psychopaths. Respectfully. I mean that with my heart of hearts. But yeah, that's cool. I think we will get some hard fights, though. I do think. I don't know if to your standard, because you seem like you eat Sans like fan game battles for breakfast. But I'm sure you'll get the challenge you're hoping for. Holy, oh my god. Dude, something, okay, Hero, I saw you're going to bed. It's a little late, so I'll be leaving to sleep now. Actually, just wait for you to catch up to this message. I'm W3 man. Thank you, Hero. Thank you for sticking with me, actually wanting to pay attention to chat. Thank you, Hero. Thanks for stopping by. Dude, something I really want in the next chapters is King character development. I want King so bad, man. I love that theory of King, like, holding back the night while we're having fun in chapter 5. I want to see more from him. I saw this video the other day that had King fighting the knight alongside Chris as a party member. That's the most Bowser inside story thing ever, where you're working with the villain and they're a party member. Also, wasn't that like a chapter 2 theory that chapter 3 and 4 we would have more Lighteners join us as party members? But clearly, you know, Chris doesn't like that. They want it to just be our adventure. They don't like the idea of Noelle joining, also just because it's the end of the story in general. Yeah, I would have loved more party members. Screen Guy's rich. They previously given progress reports citing map, cutscenes, enemies, and bosses. I'm inclined to believe that that's what the 7B progress page is hinting at 100% Tootie. I've been trying to get through these chat messages so I could get to that point, but I agree. Could I draw art of your dual friend guy? Of course, Nico. I love all fan art. By all means, you want to draw the OC of the OC? Go for it. I really would appreciate it. You could send it to me on Twitter for sure. Community post, Twitter, it all works. In Undertale Yellow, the neutral and evil ending are stellar, but the story ending for the fastest route is stupid? Really? I don't know enough about it, to be honest. I don't. I never finished it. I'm sure it's cool. Or, I mean, you said it's stupid. Maybe it's a power friendship story, but they didn't do it right. That'd be awesome. Shame that the bosses don't usually get any relevance outside of their specific chapter. And Toby hates writing villains. I said it. He hates writing villains. Well, maybe we'll actually get some villains now in 6 and 7, but I remember when everyone thought Tenna was going to be evil, and then he wasn't. And then everyone thought, well, they didn't think chapter 5 would have an evil guy, but, you know, Flowery, as much as I love him, he shows up, and he did the whole, like, they did the whole Tenna reveal again, where they did an art style shift, and you know he's not going to be evil. Last Jorona. I feel like that thing with Caddy is just because she had a crush on Noelle, but I could be too woke. Maybe it's foreshadowing. I don't know. They do a lot of BS foreshadowing in this game. Like very on the nose foreshadowing. Deltarune story equals traditional prince saves princess from dragon. The dragon saves princess from prince? Prince saves. So the dragon will save the Noelle from Rouse? I don't know. I remember I was talking to a friend of mine about the whole like roles of the characters and where they fit in. They thought Rouse was the princess, I'm pretty sure. And I remember I asked them twice to clarify, and I don't remember what their theorization was. You know, that's the whole idea of like the hero being, I think it could both be Noelle and Susie. That's why it's a sword instead of an axe. It could be a late night. Hello, Serves. Yeah, very late night indeed. It is almost 3 a.m. I'm going to get to the point here, fellas, I promise. I'm tempted to say it's Gaster related because of all the Gasterisms around 6, but I'm not sure that he'll be touched on in the normal route, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like it'd be kind of weird to not see Gaster in the main route, even though the whole point of the weird route is like we're hunting for him, right? It's like, hey, here's your reward. You looked for me. Here I am. Hello. It's hard to say. I don't expect it to happen, but I really hope it does. There's a scene. Oh, Nico. I don't think the pixel is foreshadowing that since it's only for half of the frames. And I think it'd be lame to bring him back. That since his death was such a big moment. Yeah, probably. But a person can dream. Holy crap. Maybe if there were a patch put out to have it be in every frame, I take it to be something more serious, but I don't think it's important right now. Yeah, that's fair. But it's cool. I've never, ever in my streaming career, fellas, have not been able to keep up with chat. This is a weird experience for me. Hey, Rally, not going to lie, I'm not even listening anymore. I'm just saving Flowery's lines. No hitting Kaizo Knight? You're crazy, bro. One day I'd like to be like you, Red Cap. First tried both chapter 5 bosses. Decently difficult, at least Pink. Pink was hard. And Reroute specifically denies you the gear from Pink, so it'll be tough. Oh, true. We are stuck with chapter 4 equipment. Huh. Wonder how that'll be. Deltarune is too easy. I wanted a challenge. I don't even play video games really, but I think the secret bosses should be more difficult. I don't know. I feel like it's subjective. A lot of people play games and they're just kind of ass at them, you know? And if a fight's too hard, they just won't play the game anymore, you know? So it's a hard balance, but especially with the secret bosses, I get what you're saying. Part of chapter 5 being easy is that we're playing with the release schedule, so we've had time to get better. That's true. Very true. And also all the people that slime out the Sans fan games, you know? That makes sense, yeah. Hi, guys. Hey, guys. I think I found a glue. I don't even know what I was preaching. I remember the chapter 1 fandom. Holy. Thought Jevil was crazy hard just because they hadn't played Deltarune much yet. Yeah, I remember. Well, I mean, I was a lot younger. But Jevil beat my ass. Hell yeah. Hello, Mopo. I'm doing my best to keep up with everyone. Welcome to the stream and Ada the Watcher. Friend inside us. Gaster is not going to be like some big fight. Nah, that's not true. He's going to be kind of inaccessible. I guess they could set up Gaster more. But like, would casual players understand a Gaster reveal? Okay, Henry, I'm going to hard disagree with you here. We need Gaster. We need Gaster. This is a character that people have been theorizing about and hyping up since Undertale. Because the one thing we got from him, Entry 17, and the one little room of him, the room in between. If we don't get Gaster, genuinely bad writing on Toby's part. Genuinely. It just is bad writing. You don't create a haunting the narrator character. Oh god. Haunting the narrative character as like strong and intimidating as Gaster. Literally someone running the show, Kane style, and he doesn't show up. He has to. And I think it has to be a fight because that's what we want as the players. And Gaster understands that to a meta extent. I don't know. But it's fair to think this. Why not Gaster be a weird route fight? That's what I'm thinking as well, Ada. It would make sense. So your profile picture is based. Is that Mew wearing Technoblade's outfit? If so, that's rad as hell. Maybe it's just a normal King outfit. But the pink reminds me of Techno. I've been watching a lot of Techno lately. I think we can meet Gaster in the main route, but if we're fighting him, it's going to be a weird route. Yeah, you know, I subscribe to that actually. That makes a lot of sense. Like we get to see him and he explains things almost like Endocopia, if any of you guys played it or heard about it. How this character comes and reveals all the secrets to us and then the game ends. That could be Gaster's role. And then in the weird route, it's like, oh, hey guy, look, it's me, Gaster. And then he beat his ass. Remember, Toby intentionally made Deltarune to be more character interaction focused. Not saying it difficult so everyone could have a chance to play. I mean, Undertale wasn't even that hard, to be honest. Do you think Caddy will ever be important? I mean, I brought up the dialogue of how she wants like to keep Noelle away from Susie and that we shouldn't connect them. So in that way, she's kind of important. Maybe in chapter 6. If it's more Lightner focused, then yeah, probably in this chapter upcoming. Damn, second try Jevil, first time playing? No good at this game. Okay, I do want to get to the point, fellas. I do want to get to the point of this. I don't want to hold everyone here forever. The same, I think Gaster is absolutely important, but he won't be implemented in a way that expects you to know everything from Undertale since it's so hidden. Yeah, I can see that. Hence him appearing in Weird Route being more likely IMO. Have you seen this, Rision? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. No, it's Mew in a King outfit. Yeah, that's what I presumed. I'm very techno-pilled. It looks so similar though, but you know, it's probably just because it's a standard like King looking outfit. I wish Redacted would have some story relevance, but due to how obscure and how much you have to gut Undertale to find him, it's unlikely. I see Gaster having relevance. He literally talks to us throughout the whole game, you know, whether we know it's him or not. I don't think we should ever fight Gaster. I think he would lose a lot of aura for having a winnable fight. It's subjective. I want to fight him. We should meet him for sure, but never fight him. Fighting Gaster and Weird Al just makes sense because Weird Al is all about breaking out of the game. Gaster is the game master. Maybe that's what Toby's dream was, Literally defeating the creator of a game. I think if we fight him, it won't be that you win, but he gets satisfied and ends the fight. Remember that he's in control of the device and takes great interest in us. Wanting to truly challenge us, maybe? Finally, newsletter time? Yeah, well, we'll get there. Get to the tips again. It's the points. Yeah, you could do it. You're so close. Like, the secret bosses are secret. I'm fine with the base game not being difficult. I mean, Flowery was hard. Flowery beat my ass. Granted, I'm playing the game itemless and armorless, so I take, like, hella damage. Flowery beat my ass. That was not an easy fight. I feel like people who do the secret boss are the type of people to do Sands, which was designed to be really hard. With your powers combined, you'll get to the end. I have no idea what Technoblade is. Damn, Etta. Woo! That hit me close to home. That's fair, though. That honestly is fair. It really is fair. Let's do a poll. Do you guys think the knight has aura? Oh, crap. I made it back before we finished. Lol. Night, everyone. I'm beaten. Night down. I made it to the end! Nothing is stronger than a flower's dream. I should try itemless. I've only done equipmentless and only really struggled on 3 fights. Aqua, the knight, and Jackenstein, funnily enough. Aqua's hard the first time around. The knife things are tricky. I made it to the end! Oh my god. By the way, I told Fangamer not to expect to make too much merchandise. Anything else? I desire and enjoy the corn. Happy summer and enjoy the corn. But of course, and I had a feeling Toby would do this, this was not the end of our run. I go to twitter.com and what do I see everyone freaking out about? Oh, just the end of the world. I need to point this out to you guys. Before we click on the progress and discuss it, I want you to really think about how big that 2 is, okay? The 3, I understand it's like a shadow, and because it implies a lot with the sword route, that it's big like that because it has a lot of a big impact on the story because of what it's kind of implying. And 2 is so much bigger than 1 because 1 is nothing. 4 is a two very cool moments. But in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing too insane. 5 is game-changing, and yet it's not even close to as big as 2. Really think about how big 2 is, and then look at 7. Excuse me? Excuse me? Look at the size difference. You can fit like 4 2s in this, let alone the B. Anyway, you click this and you get here. And yeah, same time as 7, implying that not only is Chapter 7 Side B in an entirely different game than Chapter 7, but it's releasing at the same time. So yeah, Chapter 6, you want to be like a cough long. That's fair. We're still getting 2 chapters of content at the end of this. Oh gosh. Maybe in our life, we could have been friends. Gaster fight would maybe only be if you get all the eggs. Maybe. I feel like with the eggs, we should have some more fan service towards the Forgotten Man, though. I don't know. I don't know about the eggs. The eggs confuse me. Hell no, the knight has 0 aura. Cutscene merchant and fraud. Enjoy the corn. Thank you. Talking about the knight, I'm really getting sick of these people acting like the knight is some joke just because we were able to chip its sword in Chapter 3. That fight took 20% of its health, so maybe we're the LARPers after all. I really don't get the knight fraud allegations. It's because it's funny. Whatever, people, they don't like losing in a cutscene, right? They could have kept going. You didn't beat me, knight. I could have won. I could have done more. Oh yeah, by the way, 7B is exactly twice as big as the 2 in terms of font size. Oh, really? Well, if you think about it, the weird route for Chapter 2 is technically a shorter game than Chapter 2 in itself. which is already long as it is. Maybe you take the average length of chapter 2 and that's what chapter 7 side B will be, but it's hard to say. People keep saying, oh yeah. Oh, wait, cutscene merchant, the lore-wise flowery started a battle and got cut in half while doing 0 damage. No, we're so good. Is chapter 7 gonna have all of us actually losing our minds? I'm terrified. I am terrified, as everyone is rightfully. I suspect it will be an entirely different chapter. Yeah, 2 is half the size, and the weird route only affects about half the chapter. I'm so scared. Could Noelle be the boss of 7V? It would be like paralleling, not Kara. Actually, that's a good question, Nubs. Who is Noelle paralleling when we connect it to Undertale Genocide? Because I think it is important to look at Undertale and Deltarune as parallels of each other, because as it's stated, and it can help put things together. Noelle, the concept of Noelle being a boss means that she doesn't allow us to use her up and instead tries to go like past even beyond what we're doing to break the game and to break her own ending in our broken version of the game. Would she be the equivalent of a Sans fight? I'm not sure. Hello, Jujutsu fan. Will chapter 7 side B gonna be longer? I think they'll be relatively equal. I don't see it being like insanely, like, I don't know. Maybe it is going to be shorter. Just because chapter 7 has to do so much to wrap up everything in a neat little bow. And I feel like chapter 7 side B won't have that sort of fan service and give all those moments, all that time to everything. I'm going off Undertale Genocide. It's objectively shorter. But it's hard to say. Isn't this crazy though? Like, what do you mean the map is basically done? The cutscenes are basically done. The bullet patterns are almost halfway there. And the enemies and like fight designs are almost halfway. Do you understand that there are developers at this current moment looking at the Suzy Weird Route design and designing animations for it? There are people right now in this world that we are living in. They are designing Friend as we speak. They're designing a Sean fight as we speak. They're designing Gaster's conversation with us as we speak. This is why I'm streaming at 3 in the morning. This is why we're all here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the moment that we have been waiting for as a community since 2015, if not earlier, if you're around for the Kickstarter. I don't have words, and yet I have so many. Everyone here, I'm thinking about making a series on this channel, going back and looking at a lot of those old theories before everything is, crumbles down around us and we already have all our answers. So if you're interested in that, I think you can get more of this sort of stream style content in those videos. I thought I'd plug that because that's essentially what I'm doing right now is like practice for it. You figured out how to stop being Chris. Oh no. Okay, with the size of 7B, it will be actually a full chapter, not significantly shortened like the other Weird Route heavy chapters. But how could we be so because of the size. No, that's fair, PC. That's fair. What the frick is gonna happen? I just feel like the normal route would have so much more of a story that it would need to tell. The knife fraud joke is getting hella annoying. Whatever. I mean, you shouldn't take it too personally. It's just a joke after all. But I don't know. My goated knight is a high tier 1 runner. Exactly. The knight is clearly holding back. When they want to go all in, they will entirely mutilate their enemy. They cut off Tenna's arms and cut off Flowery in half. They're not a fraud going easy though. Maybe they'll take off Chris's hand. It's not Friend that's going to do it. My personal theory is that each game in Sword Route represents a route in Deltarune. Normal, weird, and Twisted Sword. Yeah, Twisted Sword is what confuses me. I think Twisted Sword is going to connect with Aborted. In tandem, it'll give us something drastically different in Chapter 7. But it's hard. I don't know. Twisted Sword is such an odd thing. Only obtainable in an aborted weird route. But like, you can abort the weird route before injecting Noelle with the thorn ring. So you can do it either with a like semi-possessed soul-infused Noelle or not. And I just find that very interesting. You could do it like in chapter 5. At any point in the weird route, you can abort it and like do the thorn ring, get the twisted sword. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. My personal interpretation. Wait, did the music end? No, I want my music. Pink. Yes. Very good. Hello, X marks the spot. Art 2009. She's either paralleling Frisk or Kara. I wish I knew what you were talking about. I bet it was something I brought up before. She's either paralleling Frisk or Kara. Oh, Noelle. I remembered. Yeah, I could see that. My personal interpretation, the chapter 3 battle with the knight, is that the knight was playing with us there. We actually got a good shot in, just swooned us out of annoyance. Well, you can also just think of it like a stage, you know, paid actors. That's kind of like where the fraud concept, I think, even comes from. Chris and the knight obviously are working together, and when we get to the end of the fight, we have the little flavor dialogue of like Chris coughs, and then the knight turns their head, implying like, okay, Chris is saying like, okay, knight, wrap it up, we're done, we can go. And I guess the shadow crystals don't affect the roaring, so they don't care if you get it or not. Border Weird such twisted route has to be a different thing. It has to be. And again, there's so much that chapter 7 could be. I'm shocked at what this dev team can do. Seriously, it's insane. I really hope they continue making stuff after deltarune. Noelle defeated a boss, spammed it immediately. She's gotta be super strong. All these characters, man. Weird Route, Rouse, Susie, Noelle, they're gonna beat our goddamn ass into another video game. They're gonna send us out. They'll freaking never come back. You're gonna click deltarune when they beat you, and it's like, oh, they're gonna paywall you another $25 if you want to try again. The ultimate way to keep the players out so they can have their happy ending. Well, I can actually listen. Let's go with. Imagine if Ram or Rules card was the finale boss. Hero would like that. I'd like to see Ram again. Rules is cool. He's very strong. I don't know what you would do with him though. True, Spamton was already almost dead. What I find interesting though is the 3 different points at which you can abort the weird route. 2, 4, and 5. All of them should allow us the Thorn Ring in 6, plus the Shadow Crystal, so I wonder. What? Because you can abort in chapter 2, but you can't continue it. So how would you... I'm sure there's a way you can get all the Shadow Crystals in the weird route. I'm sure there's a way. I don't know if you can get the Thorn Ring in 4 or not. I don't think so. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. Actually, we'll meet Kara at the end of chapter 7 side B. I don't know if this is Kara's story anymore. I was a big fan of Kara still having relevance in this game, but I don't know. Last time I brought up Kara, I got clowned on, so I don't know if this is their story to tell. Whoa. There's slight differences based on when you abort the weird route, so I wonder if it will matter. Do Toby Fox team work from home? I don't know. Maybe. It's actually a crazy thought. Yeah, like assuming Gaster is fought in the weird route, then fights a third one? Oh, that fights a third one. Huh. Oh God. Oh, I don't even want to imagine that. Holy. The Chris Coon theory reaction? What? I really think that the rest of the game will break all expectations like every other chapter. Of course. Undertale in itself was so like highly regarded and marveled at because of how it twisted the RPG formula on its head. How it made a game, an RPG, where everyone doesn't need to die, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Tricky Toby himself, can do it again, right? People, I remember when chapter 1 was first came out, they were like speculative. Oh, will this be able to hold up to Undertale's standard? I know some people don't think that Deltarune is the better game, but with these chapters releasing, man, I think the writing's on the wall. Normrod has more story to tell, which is why it has an entire extra chapter. Hello, Kiwioid. I dread the aftermath of chapter 6. It's over. I'm excited for the... You know what? You know what? Everyone's saying, oh, I'm so terrified. I'm so scared. I'm excited. I love the horror aspects of these games. I love when Tricky Toby gets spooky. I want to see everyone die. I want to kill everyone. I don't dread it. I'm excited. It's over. It's just getting started. Also, we really can't predict much of chapter 6 or 7. Not referencing the stupid joke. Think we have to wait? Yeah, of course. It's all hearsay for now. That's what I'm saying. Like, it will be different based on when you abort the route. There are over 30 endings in Undertale. When Toby was just one man. One man, over 30 endings. What he can do with the whole team of people? God knows. One ending? Question mark? One ending? One ending? I still think Holiday Manor next is a good guess. Yeah. I don't know. I like the idea of Ice Season, Holiday. Watch it be none of them. Damn it, what? Do we think the knight is someone or a whole other thing? I like Des being possessed theory. I like it a lot. I'm a big fan of Des possession theory. I think it makes a lot of sense for the character being lost in the depths. And being controlled would be a great way to show it while still, like, obviously being able to do all that cool in the code stuff, conversations that we see with her. And also, I don't know, but them roaring and you see the eye, which represents the Chris soul, it's hard to say. It's hard to say if it's one-to-one, if it's something else with a soul, right? That's what we say. It's a whole other thing. Maybe the darkness's version of a soul, like the power of a soul. I'm pretty convinced that Chris's severed hand will become the Edogony-shaped friend monster? Like that? I can kind of see it, actually. With Dark World logic, it's entirely possible since Chris has a noticeable cat bite on their hand. I don't like that concept, Lucario. I mean, I like it, but it scares me. The knight has numerous opportunities to kill the entire party, and Chris has some opportunities to attack the knight, but they never take them. There's something going on. They need them. They need the heroes at World's Edge to save the day so they can cause the roaring, right? At the end, at World's Edge, that's when we appear. So probably we have to be around. Also, the game would end, and that would be no fun, now would it be? Spanton probably didn't attack Noelle. He just wants the soul. Heaven, can you hear me? Would versus Susie be reprised in a fight against Chris or the Vessel, or in a fight against Noelle and Chris? Both? Question mark? I'm assuming since 7B is a separate game, there'll be a different soundtrack. Oh my god. Oh, even more Toby music. Oh my god. How could it be a whole different game? I guess the depths are just so big. We enter from a different part of it. Maybe the depths in chapter 7 in general is this big world, endless possibilities, endless expanse. But at the end, we all go to the same place at the end. A different journey, same destination type beat. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why the one ending is that sort of, what's it called? Like title that Toby gave the game. One ending question mark. Yeah, but yeah, versus Susie would definitely come back. Oh, but against Chris or the Vessel? Nah, I feel like they should have their own themes. I wonder if the aborted Weird Out will be kind of like the Undertale neutral ending, where it can vary depending on when you abandoned it. That is such a fun concept, Ada. Yeah. Like the amount of awareness that Noelle was given, how much power she was given affects the end. I like that. Also, the knight is so much more powerful than us in chapter 3. And you get several additional chapters to gear up before facing them again. Yeah, but the knight could get stronger too, you know? Oh my, what the? Oh, how far back am I? Okay, hold on. We gotta stop laughing so Duel can make it to the end of chat. There's no way Chapter 5 prevents the Shadow Crystal? It does. The weird thing is that you have to do the weird route in Chapter 2 and take it from her. Either before the Birdly fight or in Chapter 6 when she joins the party. Ha! Now that's a freaking, that's a call. Especially in a chapter that people are theorizing may not even have a Dark World. What evidence do you think we are missing? No more good names? Well, Papyrus, that's like a safe bet. Azrael, the Final Prophecy panel, how the creator was lost in his own creation or stopped writing it. The Knight's identity. There's lots of things. How, like what happens with Rudy, how Noelle will take all of this, our supposed angel metaphor, parallel. There's a lot of different concepts that can be explored that just haven't. And it just holes that, you know, we could try to fill it in ourselves, but at the end of the day, you end up with a theory like Crystal Fusion being the Knight. And then Toby needs to ask himself, oh shoot, did they shoot for the stars and land on, well, not the moon, I guess back to Earth. Still waiting for a Science Soul mode? I want to see Science so bad. It would make a lot of sense. I think Monster Kid and Snowy could be important. They have goners. I'm pretty sure that there is a good chance in the normal route we stop the roaring. But with Chris and Noelle gone inside B, the roaring happens? You think we stop it? Maybe Susie, with her power of hope or whatever, can write her own story at the exact same time that the roaring happens, like leaving us on a cliffhanger, but actually when chapter 7 starts, it shows that she is on the path of saving everyone. But since we're not around inside B, it happens. And in tandem, that leads them to the depths. Maybe we don't end up in the depths in chapter 7. And that's why it's an entirely different game. Maybe we end up in whatever Susie's version of chapter 7 or the story, like that's the world we end up in. Well, the weird route would force everyone into the depths, whether they like it or not. One thing will be true, whether we like it or not, right? That's what Toby said. What the frick did he say? No, wrong thing. Where is it? But one thing will be clarified, whether you're ready or not. That's heavy. That's very heavy. Ooh, Nelly. Blue I'm more skeptical on since we got platforming. That's true, actually. A lot of the soul colors were represented in chapter 5. Aqua has to happen. Maybe the whole Aqua Chris fight is implying something. Undertale does not have 93 endings. No way. It's got like 30 plus. No. I don't know. Will Azrael Dreamer will ever appear in Deltarune? Blue, I think it would be very funny if Azrael shows up in the last 10 seconds of the game, right when the roaring happens. It's like, hey guys, what's up? It's me, Azrael Dreamer. I'm back from college. Wow. Look at how Helmtown has changed. You get a hassle. Oh god. And then the roaring just freaking murders them. I absolutely love when these stories get more serious. The main thing is that we're scared because we have no clue what future chapters will entail. Of course. Yeah. I love the horror Toby does. It's, I think, his strongest suit. And I can't wait to see what he's cooking. If Rudy is alive in chapter 6, then that confirms that he has the strongest plot armor in fiction. It's like Attack on Titan, bro. Okay, I don't want to spoil Attack on Titan, but Reiner. That's all I'll say. Up until now, we've had very clear indicators of what future chapters will have, but now we've got nothing. And that's why I think going back and looking at those old theories now's the time. You know, now's like a very fun time to do that. It's Chris's soul in the night. It's Chris' soul in the night in Des, but that would be too stupid. Yeah, no, I don't know. It seems my brain hurts looking at that, so yeah, probably. Combine that with Toby's vague posting about you might not be ready. Yeah. I think it would be narratively unsatisfying if the night was controlled. The night to me is interesting because of the possible motivation they could have. Huh. Like a Thanos type. I don't know why Thanos is the first thing that comes to my mind, but I get what you're saying, Adam. Then maybe in your mind, Death Knight can't be the case. Unless, because like who else would be in the code, in the depths, being like, I'm lost, I'm scared, what's going on? I'm making a theory video about the third route. Oh, cool. But there is an unused ring item that I believe the Thorn Ring will turn into unless you abort in Chapter 5. There's an unused ring item that I believe the Thorn Ring will turn into unless you abort in Chapter 5. God, man. What the frick? There's going to be like 6 endings to this game. I believe this because there's a unique trigger if you abort the weird route in Chapter 5 specifically that becomes true. Huh, like in the code, right? Interesting. Theory Chris work with Knight, of course. Toby said Chapter 6 is going to clarify one thing. I think it's less one thing, and it's more like the overall theme of where the game is going, and in tandem Chapter 7. Because the roaring in general, if you say it's going to clarify one thing, right? You could say it clarifies like why the roaring needs to happen, or it needs to clarify like the roaring in general occurring, showing us it. There are so many things that need to also be relevant to us and shown to us and understood for this final thing to occur. So that's why I think Toby's saying like, oh, okay, it's going to clarify one thing. In reality, it's a ton of things. But when you boil it down, everything connects back to the roaring. By the way, am I crazy for thinking a serious fight against rules would generally go hard in the weird route? He's a bit too much of a goofball in my opinion, but he does have the power to control the game, so he could do something really sick with that power. Off topic, Toby got hacked on like Apple Music. Yeah, I saw that or something. And the music they posted for Chapter 6 was buns. It was some like goofy, just nonsense. And then Chapter 7 was a UST, which actually I discovered only through that leak, and I put it in my playlist. It's actually very good. Like 20-minute UST video, just one video. How would rules end up in Chapter 7 Side B? You know, maybe someone took the playing cards and just yeet straight into the ocean, straight into the lake. I saw that. There was some nonsense Apple Music. Yeah. Gaster never make music again, dog. That was terrible. Just the worst. Holy crap, bro. Where the frick? I can't. Okay, hold on. How is the vessel going to tie into 7B? Well, I bet Gaster's still holding on to it. Why not? It's his creation after all, our creation. Maybe he'll give it its own life, allow it to exist in the depths with them. I want the vessel back more than I want friend. I would love, I'm waiting on that vessel. It's gonna be a sick reveal. I call it crazy, okay? I would love a Suzy fight in the light world that uses Undertale's UI. Something about that really like scratches my brain the right way. A Suzy fight using the Undertale UI. Just like in the weird route, Susie's just so pissed at us for ruining her life. She just jumps us in the real world. 1A. Guys, I'm checking so we catch up. Nah, we must TF. I miss Papoose. Papyrus Forgotten Man is decently compelling. I like the idea of it being Deltarune Gaster, but I can hear it out. I think taking merch as evidence for a theory is silly. Merch? There's a merch connection? Wonder if Birdley is going to show up in Chapter 7 of the Weird Route. I mean, he hasn't gotten much of a huge role except for his first Dark World appearance in Chapter 2. They kind of put him in a coma. It's hard to say. If the roaring occurs and it consumes everything, I mean, maybe he'll get stronger, like Undyne style. Half dead, but still yet just as alive. Roaring with life. I don't buy, it says stop chatting, keep chatting anyway. Everyone must chat. I don't buy Chapter 6 having no Dark World. The Dark World is the gameplay of the game. No Dark World, no gameplay? Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't know. I don't know. Grisel Amalgam is like the least plausible thing ever. It's so funny. It has hype moments in Aura though. Okay. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Holy crap. I'm gonna have to cap this eventually. Maybe the night is incomplete. That's why we managed to defeat in chapter 3. But if we reached it in chapter 7, we finally faced the fully finished night. Well, I think Blue, I think the night's LARPing, you know? Just allowing us to have some fun. They're probably just holding back. That's a fun concept. There is discussion to be had. I want cliffhanger ending for Deltarune. I'm sick of the cliffhanger endings. It's been cliffhanger ending after cliffhanger ending for years. Toby has been edging us with his freaking cliffs, bro. His caves and cliffs. I'm not interested in your dang cliffs, Toby. Get him out of my face. The old man is literally the smoking gun bro against the Crystal Knight. Well, if you cannot stop us, we're theorizing. Hello, Jadin. I just don't understand how there's only one ending but two sides of a route. I don't understand how there's only one ending but two sides. Because, again, it's not about the freaking destination, it's about the journey. And the journey can be very different than the destination. In general, Deltarune's ending can lead to the same like relative thing happening, but the way we get there in the different routes is so drastically different, and that's why Toby feels the need to add ending question mark, because it's practically different endings. If you stop thinking about an ending about it having a different ending and more of the game just being different, then yeah, it's different endings. But we would have to actually see what Toby is doing, right? Maybe like it gets to the same point at the end where everything ceases to exist or whatever. I feel like both routes could reasonably go to the depths, but if only one will go there, it'll definitely be the weird route. Like I see them in chapter 6 escaping to the bunker. I do. Finally figuring, I mean, they've been teasing the code forever now. Chapter 4, chapter 5, we've been getting pieces of the code. I can't believe the code has Undertale's release date in it, by the way. Just insane. Insane. I don't think we talk about that enough just because we don't have the information about it. It has Undertale's release date in the code. We kidnapped all of Deltarune and sold it Undertale. Then we change our targets, our heaven is in sight. We'll seal your home for good and take away your holy night. Light? I don't know. I wrote the other one. I didn't write that one. I don't know the damn words. I don't know. I feel like both routes could reasonably go to the depth. Oh, yeah. Crystal Knight wouldn't work narratively. That is true, Ada. It does kind of go against the point of it. Oh my god, Goat. Have you clicked on the numbers on the link with the 7B on it? I don't know if these are new links or not, but check. There's audio. There's audio files? The fudge? The freak are you to audio files? What? Audio files. I'm gonna need some more information on that, but I'll keep going through chat. But keep that posted. It's up there. I can also go searching Twitter for that. For Cell Night Theory makes 0 sense. Yeah, but it's fun. Definitely more than 30 endings. Yeah. I wonder how Toby's going to fit everything with these last 2 chapters. There's so much information that we don't have, and some of it we might not even get answers to. Maybe it's for the best. I feel like you can trust Toby. I feel like he knows what he's doing. I know some of us have been burned with Digital Circus, how it like didn't give us all of the answers we could have wanted or have wanted. But I don't know. I just kind of trust Toby. He's been cooking for a long, long time. He's been cooking for a long, long time. If you can do stuff like this, keep communities, fan bases rabid for this long, I mean, I trust whatever you're doing, brother. Did he already do this question, Mick? I did this. We went over this. Again, crazy how it's almost done, and we're not even at chapter 6. It's not almost done, but it's like basically getting there. They're so ahead of the curve, man. I think that chapter 7 will have 3 different places. The forest, the bunker, and the other side of the lake. Well, the other side of the lake is the bunker, which is the depths. The forest. That'd be cool. I like that. It's fun. It's a very fun idea. Maybe that can be Friends moment. I can't speak. Right, it's Russian. I don't think it's Ukrainian. Hello, Artalox. The big 2 and 5? Yeah, we did this. Again, just one is nothing, one is tiny, because chapter 1, whatever. Chapter 2, big. This is like reversed because sword route. I can't believe 4 is as small as it is. I feel like 4 had some really crazy cool moments for what it does. I guess because it's like a small part of the game. And then 5 is also small but very impactful. And then 7 is just knocks everything out of the freaking water. Oh, look at that. Went out monochrome when I went off of it. Those are old? 4 also has a link. It looks like a black screen to me. Oh, you're talking about... You're right, because this is an old page, so I bet it had a bunch of other, like, ARG nonsense. I don't know. I've never, like, tinkered around too much with this stuff, but... when it comes to the Spanton sweepstakes and all that. But it's cool. I've looked at it from the sidelines quite a bit. It's fun. Maybe Rudy will be more alive and healthy in chapter 6, and the reveal is he is becoming a darkener. He's basically dead but alive in Dark World. Oh, I mean, it would be like another way to give someone freedom, I guess. He's free of his health conditions because in the Dark World, he's dead but alive. I like that, Blue. That's fun. Never mind then. Found out there's hidden text. Oh, yeah. I'm scared to know how far back I am. Far. Yeah, there's a hidden text. There's hidden text. Let's see it. Boop. Same time as 7. Just in case you guys didn't know. To be fair, there are so many flags for literally everything you do in this game. Like, there's no way all of them are used. Some have to be just to throw us off. Chris, working with the knight is in the theory. Yeah, obviously. I don't know all the checks. I'm not a coder. By the way, the one ending thing is in advertising could be because only one route reaches the end of the prophecy. Weird route breaks it. It's possible there's no ending in a way. Huh. Oh yeah, like it's not intended in the game. So it doesn't count it as an ending. I like that. That makes sense. Didn't Toby say there was gonna be only one ending? Well, he updated it to add a question mark, so I wouldn't count that as one ending, right? Will the weird route ending be the same? Nah, it won't. It won't. I think we might get to the same goal, though. The same thing will occur at the end. But with what Tootie said right now, it kind of makes sense if it would be different. It'd be because the game doesn't even classify it as another ending, because we break it. We're not scrutinizing the definition of one ending enough. One ending question mark, yeah. I made a UST. It got 3K views. I was happy. Oh, Henry, I'd love to see it. I could check it out after stream, I suppose. Like, we should be thinking about it. There's a lot of things we should be thinking about. The fact in the freaking chapter 6 thing here. No, not the... Ooh, not that concept art. This. I find it crazy. This. The main things that will continue to need development time are the boss of the chapter. One boss. One singular, which kind of implies there will be a dark world unless we fight the knight, like at the fountain right before the roaring, or like a titan or something. But we already did that. Boss one. That's crazy. You do not just say boss and not bosses unless you meant it. Yes. Oh, I'm glad you guys like the Undertale UI idea. Oh yeah, that guy guy's excited. I agree. I think it's cool. I don't know. I want it, man. It's the most fan servicey thing ever, but it has so much aura. Undertale Gaster is the forgotten man. I'm not crazy, trust me. You know, Arrow King. Undertale Gaster is a forgotten man. I think Deltarune Gaster is the forgotten man. I'll leave you with that. Chapter 6, it's clarifying the prophecy because they're bringing Noelle in. They need to catch her up, which will lead to the heroes discussing why the prophecy is happening. This is a stretch. Well, she's definitely not going to know it's a dream anymore. She's going to want information. They won't give her all the information, but we'll get our answers. I rolled would Def use Undertale UI or something similar? It has to. The fact that Chapter 1 used the Undertale UI as like a trick to trick you into thinking, oh guys, look, it's Undertale 2, and then bam, it's something else entirely. But in tandem, it can also work as a reversal of being like, actually, this was Undertale's UI. These were Undertale's characters, and guess what? You have a fight in the light world, and it is an Undertale fight. I mean, that dog is full of surprises, so you can somehow achieve one ending. Regarding the merch thing, there's a merch with a papyrus behind a tree. Oh, right, I remember hearing about that. It could be they're messing with us. Honestly, I know you might have said it already, 2D. They could just be messing with us. But, I mean, that is technically proof. If you connect dots. Burgley is goat. Burgley. I'm calling it now. Gaster has nothing to do with friend. It was ERAM. That is always associated with friend. I mean, yeah, because in the sword route, ERAM is literally working above friend. So, but people like the concept of connecting Gaster with all the other goons, right? The Gaster group chat and all the goons. If we get a light world fight, it's not going to be in the weird route since Chris and Noelle low-key just went to the depths. Who knows? Maybe, God knows, maybe Susie's going to grab us and yeet us out of the depths somehow because she's going to become cracked or insane or something. And then, you know, her and Sans are going to jump us. And whatever the hell light world thing is Rouse. They're all just going to pa, pa, pa. 1A, 1A. Also, I think there's no way the Forgotten Man is Gaster. Really? I really like the idea of it. Because, like, how come we have a reverse character of every person in Undertale, other than Papyrus, technically, other than Gaster? You know? We have, like, a Deltarune Undertale character. Except Papyrus and Gaster. Wouldn't it make sense that Gaster, in becoming the god of the Deltarune world, he would have to get rid of his he would have to get rid of himself. To like, I don't know. I don't know. My brain decides it makes sense, so it makes sense. It's also 3:30 in the morning, so, you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I remember when the Undertale community thought that Gaster was the father of Sans and Papyrus. What if he is though? My father, W.D. Gaster. Oh, my name? My name is Susie Gaster. I'm the daughter of W.D. Gaster. I think there's no way the Forgotten Man. All right. Back in the flower because aboard Glue, Gerona, Stingus. The eggs being seen as an issue by Gaster, plus friend being controlled by the mantle holder. With the eggs being seen as an issue by Gaster, plus friend being controlled by the mantle holder. Was Gaster being associated with 666 and the Forgotten Man associated with... Oh my god. I don't know. And one more for the fans. I feel like we're supposed to know the Forgotten Man isn't Gaster. I mean, him having an issue with the eggs, he could still have an issue with it and it can be him. Also, like, because of the way the Forgotten Man speaks, I know it's not exactly like Gaster, but it's not like Papyrus either, you know? The way he speaks is more akin to Gaster than the Papyrus. Speaking of Flowery, how come Flowery knows about the menus and battle system? Because he's living his best life. To the best of his ability, how he wants to live it. I mean, Rouse too. I don't know what to make of that. Yeah, Rouse also knows, but why Flowery? Smile again. Those links are new? I just jump scared like 20 people. Is that Susie? Hello? I mean ... Are you sure those are new? I guess, but like, no, flower isn't really a darkener. He's a flower. What if Chris destroys the soul and they die with us? Well, we've seen Chris becomes like all rotten and green and gross without us for too long. They die with us after Noel overused Snowgrave. We're both used up. And the reason Deltarune has one ending is because Weird Rot ends before we complete it. Oh, like we overextend ourselves and we don't make it to the end? Jeez. What a god. Like a... I don't even know how to describe it. It's just kind of disturbing. It'd be a very, very odd way to end it. Very fitting though. If they're referring to the chapter 5 page with the numbers. Those links are not new. Well, did you go to college? What you study? I did not go to college. I did not go. I am stupid American. We don't go to the college. College! Me study hard. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, New Home. Insane lore. People underestimate what Toby can do in a like hour span. The amount of stuff he can tell us. What if the Lightners think humans are some sort of angels or gods? Or their world? Nah. Because, like, Chris is there, you know? Ja-Orange, Ja-Boner. It's my Ja-Boner. Heh. What a predictable creature. I'm staring at my Ja-Boner. There's no more freedom motif because of no more secret bosses. Hey, that'd suck. I could still see Sham secret boss. We go to Castletown, and it's like, hey, you want this shadow crystal thing that I just made? You're gonna have to fight me for it. And then boom, we get our equivalent of like a secret boss. I'd love that. I think a Sham secret boss is like writing on the wall, truthfully. He keeps talking about how he's like beating everyone's asses in Castletown. He has no one to challenge him. He jailed up Jebel. Like, come on now. They're very obviously, Sham as a character, they're very obviously someone that we're gonna have some fun with. I think giving Rousey his own original theme would be a great way to end his arc. Of course, they implied it with chapter 4, right? How they use Lost Girl when you enter his room for the first time. Him getting his own theme in like a triumphant moment in the story would be great. Hi guys. What if there's more secrets in the rest of the websites? In the ARG, probably not, because some of them are unrelated. I mean, you guys have access to the internet. You can just tell me. Oh, hello, you. I don't think this stuff is new. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. To be honest, that could just be because each chapter has a main boss and a side boss. Maybe he is the side boss then. Given that the light world follows Undertale's UI to a fault. Not even letting you access settings. It's got to be used more sometime. I agree. The goats are forgotten man and vessel. I want more of them. Hell yeah. Omega Flowery. Grillby. I miss Grillby, man. I miss Grillby a lot. He has the gentleman vibe, and his screen time and his shop got stolen by Sans. Hey, whoa. That's not Grillby's anymore, all right? That's Sans. I hope we hear versus Susie again. We will. But cooler, because we know when Toby brings songs back in Deltarune, it just has to sound cooler. The what? The run group chat is so funny. I like it. Chris Noel literally just drowned and died. And chapter side B is just the soul breaking. And then the credits roll. What we've been waiting for 10 years. We fought the vessel in Lightworld instead. Yeah, I like the concept of that. Finding it like in the hall. But that's very fanny, you know? It's very fan stuff. We're like walking around in Lightworld and all of a sudden the vessel grabs us, chucks us into a wall, and the fight just starts. A vessel Undertale fight. I'm just saying. Think Gaster's the same in Undertale and Deltarune? Huh. Maybe. Cause like everyone has a parallel in Undertale and Deltarune. Well, no, not everyone. Sands and Papyrus don't. Shoot, Tootie, you know, maybe you're right. Crap. Because Sands and Papyrus don't have one. Damn, maybe you're right. Papyrus? Is Papyrus really the forgotten man? Wow. This is great. This is great. It's really opening me up to new ideas. Damn. Last Llorona. Will Papyrus ever show up? 1000%. Again, bad writing if he doesn't, in my opinion. He's outside the world of Deltarune. I'm falling outside of the world of Deltarune. Gaster. Since falling means Gaster. What? Hello, Obama Prism. Corn. Corn. Bro likes his corn. What the frick is this song? The issue thing refers to the PlayStation achievements, where you get an achievement for beat X chapter without issue, right? Unless you get the eggs. The chat is devolving. Yeah, right. If he sees it as an issue, I don't think he'd be giving them to us. Well, again, I saw like the two Gasters as like almost different characters in a sense. But no, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But again, Gaster, Sans, Papyrus having connections, maybe they wouldn't have the same ideals. Alright, Gaster, mad scientist, doesn't really care what happens to the rest of the people. He just wants his experiment to happen. His very, very interesting experiment. Gaster got with Grill being fathered both Sans and Papyrus. True. But there, I knew I made an evil typo. Your mistake has cost us. God, that was a jump scare that was so long ago. 2 is before the Burley fight. 3 is the mantle holder sound. 4 is ARG stuff. 5 is, yeah, I recognize Tappy Town. Well, I think I can get to the end of the chat. I think I can get to the end. My king. Yeah, that's kind of what I meant with Weird Route technically not ending. We don't reach the end within the device. But as the game we experience, it's technically an ending. I agree. Your dad's my best friend. It's my hummingbird. Oh wait, thoughts on human death theory? There's some interesting evidence I find cool that would make it narratively compelling. I literally never heard of it. Human death theory. Human death theory. That parallel, like, Chris, I guess? And why Chris would have, like, a strong connection with them? I feel the same about it as I do a transgender Rouse. I think it's plausible, and if they were to do that, it would be good. Would it be fine if not? Yeah, I heard about transgender Rouse and the whole, like, flowery scene, the princess, and that he's hiding it. But I agree. I think it is the type of thing that if it happens, cool, because it's a part of the narrative, and it was meant to happen. And if not, you know, it's just a fun headcanon. It's hard with... The deeper we go, it's harder for me to give, like, solid answers on things. That's also being a human wearing fake horns. If, right? If. Here I come, San Francisco. Disco. You wrote it wrong. As we're not suspicious enough about Sham, they're so weird. Oh, freaking 100%. I see it, dude. Writing is on the wall for me. I'm like, we're getting a Sham fight. I went through the whole ARG earlier and there's nothing else new. It's old. Some weird shenanigans with the links telling you letters. That former URL for thank you survey, which is currently closed. God, that survey was so interesting, huh? Went down to like 1,000 people. We're talking about Sans Dark World enough? But when I say that, I mean the shop? I'm confused. Sans Dark World enough. Glue. Given that Gaster, oh gosh. Given that Gaster is almost definitely the glowing voice, 100%, 1000%. Bad writing if it isn't, which we know to be an otherworldly thing. I think it's safe to say he's not native to Deltarune. Dang. Again, my concept with the Gaster thing is like he comes in, he shows up, he takes over the game, he erases man country, he scribbles all over, right? Like chapter 4 egg route style, or egg scene style. Scribbles over everything, erases everything, or just puts his Deltarune on top, my Deltarune. And in tandem, that gets rid of Gaster, and he gets lost in the places where we can find him, like man country, right? That's why man country is where we had the closest connection to the Forgotten Man, is because it's a version of himself that got like drowned in the old version of Deltarune. So like Undertale Gaster wouldn't be native, but Deltarune Gaster would. But I like the idea of Papyrus. You've sold me on it, 2D. What the frick is this song? Thousands Cafe Zukan remix, I think. Song at the cafe in chapter 5. Yeah, I've been looping chapter 4 and chapter 5, so I think you're right. Can you meme magic? Hear this. Yep. Feel it, smell it. The power of flowers. And one more for the fans. You can do it. I think with the machine in the basement, when you use it to teleport to another alt universe, it brings the entire house, the people in it, hence the house always being new. We're talking about like the Grilby's house or whatever, Sans' house, like teleporting with them when they timeline jump. Machine in the basement. I mean, yeah, if so, that's true. That's literally what happens. Direction. Over. It's so over. I love human deaths. Also trains Rousey. I don't know if Rousey likes himself enough. Yeah, they seem to be against showing it. Oh, we'll see what happens. Maybe Sans won't let Papyrus out because then he'll realize he's not in Snowdin. He just has like a mental breakdown in the middle of the highway. Supposedly, if they're from Undertale first and Deltarune. I mean, but I don't think they are though. I don't know. Maybe they used to go back and forth till Sans couldn't go back. The only thing that goes against, like Deltarune, Sans, and Papyrus dipping to Undertale when the roaring happens, is the scribbling out of the words Grilby's. They could have just fixed it, I guess. But that also implies that that place existed somewhere else. Maybe it's a whole timeline loop shenanigan. I don't know. That confuses me. It really does confuse me. I don't know, though. I think the don't forget, if we want actual confirmation, and not just my own biases, the don't forget paper is a great indicator that Deltarune comes before Undertale. Was Chris surviving prior to the soul? You know, they managed. I mean, the supermarket with the bins of eggs, the one where Sans says Clopin. Where we store them? Dark World enough. His shop? I guess that it's like different than Grilby's. It's an entirely different place. It is an entirely different place. I don't know. Connection to the eggs too. Oh, that's interesting. I just woke up. This is insane. Hello, Solo Gamer. We've been live for 3 hours. I'm really glad I did this stream, fellas. It's been a joy talking with y'all. I didn't know. I thought no one would show up and I would just yap like it's a pre-recorded thing and that's it. But instead, it turned into something very cool. So I appreciate you guys for being here. One thing I've thought about is maybe they always had the soul, but only recently took control of it. God, that'd be it. What a concept. I like it. No way to know? Of course not. But that doesn't mean we can't like or dislike concepts and theories. Quick, check all the Deltarune websites. I didn't do anything. I'm done checking. By the way, thoughts on the eggs? They're weird as hell. Why are we calling hits on different locations? Like with the chapter 5 friend lore, it seems like the eggs are attracting friend who will relentlessly hunt their target right for the protein. They're weird as, why are they calling hits on different locations? I don't think Mimu is gonna save us the day. Save us from this. I can English at 3:50 in the morning. I don't know. The eggs confuse me, especially now that you're making me question who even the Forgotten Man is. Clearly, it's if Gaster doesn't like the eggs and the eggs attract friend, maybe Gaster needs friend for something coming up with chapter 6 or chapter 7 that they're gonna need friend to be in control, and the protein the eggs makes friend go rabid, and maybe the leash on friend will be like loosened and they'll be off chasing after the protein, aka us, in tandem not being able to help Gaster with whatever or the group chat needs friend to do, and maybe that's like a weakness that can help us stop them. I'm completely spitballing here. The eggs are a fascinating thing, and I have literally no idea what they could mean. All I know is that they're helping us remember, and that Chris Loki got like trauma of something, and we're gonna find out what it is. And Friend being connected to the eggs is really interesting because of all the connections with Chris losing their hand, and that's like a very traumatic thing, you would say, right? I don't know. A lot of parallels to trauma. Being hunted by your fears or whatever in the dark. So why are we placing eggs at various locations? So Friend can go egg hunting like it's Easter. Flower man, with his heart in the sand. And there goes all my progress in catching up with chat. We're talking to the rest of the souls. Flower already tells you that humans constantly walked through the shop and now they're not. Also a book on souls. I can't wait to read what's in the rest of the library too. I hope that happens in chapter 6. Freaking, out of all characters, the freaking hometown butcher was the one that was stopping us from reading the rest of the lore. I bet that's the secret, man. That's like the prophecy nonsense. The sacrifice we'll need to save the day or whatever. Or for the end of the world, they need sacrifices, right? That's true. Sin shop is so cooked. I don't know. There's so many eggs. Yo, what if we get like a Sans Friend fight though? Like, wouldn't that be kind of cool? I want to see Sans fight someone instead of him always fighting us. Joke theory. What if the egg turns into Humpty Dumpty? No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't put it all together again. So real, so true. This makes me wonder, what if the knight took all the humans into the bunker to harvest souls? Meat factory? I don't know, that'd be insanely messed up. It'd kind of be the reverse of Undertale, you know? How like, I mean, fine, the humans sealed the monsters, but in a sense, it was like the humans taking advantage of the monsters. So here it would be like the monsters taking advantage of the humans. As Groby gave Sans his shop and retired. He just puts his freaking coat up on the rack and says, I'll see you guys. He has like some cool anime style walk off into the sunset. Isn't it nice? The life forever for flowers. If you could look into my eyes, could see that a flower like me could hope to be like you. I love that version of Flower Man. The cover that added all the extra lyrics. I gotta tell you that it's been out too. Bow, 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 bow. Maybe they're Easter eggs? Ha! No, but actually, we know they also help reveal info regarding Chris's past. Yes, that was the connection I made. Yeah, they're literally Easter eggs. Live for 3 hours because there's so much to talk about. That's why I went live! Does anyone know what last Thursdayism is? No. It's the idea that the universe could have been created last Thursday. All our memories of before that were also created last Thursday. Last Thursdayism. Fascinating. Some like, not psychology. I forget the term. It's too late, bro. Philosophy, theory. It technically can't be disproven. How would you know? We forgot everything. Like there's like a universe reset. I don't know it. I feel like it's strangely relevant to Deltarune. Chapter 1 is on a Thursday. And for us, the players, the world effectively did start existing on that Thursday. That is true. Even though technically there's so much world that happened around it. Technically before, after, there's history. But for us, it was only that Thursday. Shoot, man. Also, chapter 7 is probably on a Tuesday. So we don't get to see another Thursday. Huh. Ain't that fun. To be clear, last Thursdayism isn't a Deltarune theory. It's a thought experiment entirely separate that I noticed applies here. No, yeah, it makes sense. It's actually, someone could make that into a very fun theory. Maybe you should, Tootie. This is the hometown Grim Reaper. I hate that stupid bird. He donowalls us as much as the rest of the freaking group chat. Supposedly Deltarune will end on a Thursday, if we even get there. Really hope in chapter 6 we get one last look around hometown like in chapter 1. We will. People are questioning if there's gonna be a dark world, let alone we could go in the light world. Of course. I wonder where the roaring, guys, where do you think the roaring will take place? I think that's a fun question. Where? What place in the town is the roaring gonna happen? Holiday Manor? Sans' shop. The lake. The shelter? I doubt the shelter. Deltarune end before Thursday? Oh no, maybe Thursday morning. Yeah, if it ends on Tuesday, that gives us even Wednesday. A lot of time. Maybe Thursday's when we get to see Azrael come back exactly a week later. But he was supposed to come the weekend. He's already late. How long are we going to wait for Azrael? I can't believe this entire stream is just dual reading his chat. It's a fire chat. We're done. We read everything. This is the point of this stream was to talk about this stuff, so. Flood the chat, he'll never catch up. Seriously, it's been a never-ending, carrot on a stick. What I'm saying is we only experienced one Thursday, because if we experienced multiple, it would disprove last Thursday-ism. Yes. Yeah, I mostly understand it. There can't be another Thursday. Nah, he's slowly catching up, despite my attempts to yap about random garbage constantly. Girona! The night kidnaps people theory? Jadul, almost finished reading chat. Where did it take place? Where did it take place? Oh, that's sick. In hometown. Wow. The question is the roaring going to happen? Yeah. Again, if Susie's going to stop it, she's going to stop it as it's happening, because it's the most cliffhanger-y thing to do. I just might be a genius. Am I there? I'm almost there. There's a secret. Oh, with the flower man. A secret 1 in 6 chance that Flowery can talk about friend during his monologue during his battle if you got bit by them during the encounter, and he'll say your hand has a bite in it. Really? I didn't know that. That's cool. It says your hand has a bite in it. God. Toby, you put almost too much detail into these games, you know? You guys want to see something fun? Oh, what? And we're back. Ain't that fun? I got the power at the tip of my fingers. I can control electricity. Yeah, 4 a.m. Holy, I'm just yapping. I don't know, I saw a theory that chapter 5 would have the roaring. Yeah, that's what I believe too, which is why I think I was a little disappointed when I played chapter 5 initially, but now it's probably my favorite one, because I can appreciate it for what it is. I remember that theory. Chapter 6 would be the shelter, and chapter 7 would be the depths. The shelter is the depths. I thought of it maybe more like, we go to the shelter, aka the depths, and then Susie tries to make her own story, and that would be chapter 7. If I'm lying, it's because I am. Oh, whatever. I'll believe it. I think a Lightner might die in chapter 6 and 7. The stream's about to die when I get to the bottom of this chat list. I think a Lightner might die in chapter 6 and 7. It feels possible. I think it'd be cool if Toby finally let a character go. I really don't like that Birdley lived in chapter 2. I think he should have died. But whatever, it would have been too traumatizing for Noel, so narratively he kind of had to live. But I want death. Give me death. The music ended. I think that's a sign. I can play Endocopia music. Oh, hell yeah, bro. Charlie's Inferno? Oh, God. What is this mix? Oh, no. There's copyrighted music in this mix. That's not good. Send me back. I'll play it from the beginning. There we go. God, this is so... Oh, wow. Yeah, that's an old song. We're going to find Des hitting the Golden Freddy pose at some point. I'm calling it. Yo, Pablo, welcome to the stream, buddy. 4 a.m. I want to see that. I'd put money on that. Oh, that'd be great. What's going to happen to Undyne and Asgore? Sacrifice. Sacrifice. Yeah, no, they're kind of cooked. I think we need more sacrifices. I think the deltarune is also a part of the sacrifice. A pine tree, an officer's badge, and the deltarune. Maybe. Belford Award. Thanks for reading everyone's chat. It's always so frustrating when a streamer misses your chat. I am in a nice spot because I'm still a pretty small creator that I can keep up if this chat was going even a little bit faster than this, I don't think I would be able to. I'm glad you appreciate it, Nubs. You know, I personally, as someone that once was a viewer and still is a viewer of a lot, you know, a ton of creators on YouTube, I would love, really like, especially when I was younger, watching like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, I would have killed to have one of them read my message or respond to my comment, or I'd be able to meet them, right? So, you know, I think it's important for the creator to have some sort of connection to their community. I would have enjoyed it, so like, of course the audience would too. It's hard though, if there were 1,000 people in here, I'm sorry, you'd have to give me money. I wouldn't have much of a choice. Hey, you believed it. Frick you guys. Joe, we got to finish. Wait, I know. Jerona, Joe, we got to keep talking so Duel doesn't finish chat. I'm falling, my king. Lend me your power. Omega Flowery. God, I love doing the flowery voice. You just take your voice and sound like a douchebag. With a hint of Japanese. Funny, we're talking about Burley when I'm pretty sure the last song was Burley related. Was it? Now Empty Town's playing, so I wouldn't know. Running out of theories to talk about. Quick, say some garbage. Last Joe Boner. No, we need comprehensive theories. I think it's very possible Undyne and Asgard are just dead. They're dead? What a twist that would be. Imagine Noelle, she's already on her ropes. Her father's hospitalized, almost dead. Her friend's hospitalized, almost dead. Well, in the normal round, it wouldn't be like that. Whatever, her sister's gone, and all of a sudden, she gets in the news. Oh yeah, Undyne, Asgore, dead. Drowned in river. Susie is about to crash out with Noelle in the weird route, bro. Oh wait, no, but there's no Noelle in the weird route. Fudge, man. Maybe if Noelle crashes out in the main route, then the equivalent of that is Susie crashing out in the weird route. You know? Wait, what's even the point of the sacrifice? You think I know? Maybe it's needed. Maybe they're LARPing. For all we know, the knight right now could just go to every single place. Dark world, dark world, dark world. Like, what's stopping them? Genuinely, what is stopping them? Dark world, dark world, dark world, dark world, dark world, dark world. Nothing other than their plan. All will be revealed, right? Obviously, we'll find out their fates, but for now, we can speculate. The small streams feel super fun since it's so tight-knit. Almost typed night. Rather than being a kind of hive mind. Yeah. Like, as a person, I've never enjoyed the term chat. I don't like the term chat because it kind of dehumanizes the people in the chat room, right? People just go, hey, chat, yo, chat, what's good, chat? I'm like, but there's like real people on the other side of the screen. It's true. Like, listen, I might be talking to a camera right now in my freaking basement, but talking to real people, and real people are talking back. The issue again is when there's too many. When there's too many, it becomes a hive mind. There's nothing you could do about it. It just kind of is what it is. But at least you can try to have the vibe in the stream feel a bit more genuine, you know? Even if things do get big. But yeah, small streams are goated. But you know, the small stream needs to get big eventually so the streamer can make some money. I kid. WD Gaster and Deltarune built it. Double DDD Gaster, double DDD Gaster, double DDD Gaster in my Deltarune. He built it all from an empty room. Sacrifice for roaring? Or any sacrifice for the roaring? I don't know. I just live here. The knight will bring everyone important from Undertale except Sans because he wants to recreate Undertale 2. That'll be $29.99 on Steam, Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 5, and Xbox One X. Maybe not the Xbox. Important except Sans the Undertale world, but mind wiped, so they followed the Undertale script. The idea of just playing Undertale in Deltarune is pretty insane. Insanely crackpot, but a person can dream. Flowery's awesome, lol, and I love the parallels between him and Rousey. Oh, of course. One person that is doing in their time that they have, right? Because they both have limited time, doing everything they want and being who they want to be, while Rousey keeps it all tucked in. The fact that they force themselves to stay in character all the time, and you know, in chapter 5 we get chapter 1 Rousey is designed back for a little bit. That corn guy is Deltarune chapter 6 final boss, of course. How else would it be? So is this like a new character? I desire and enjoy the corn. Happy summer and enjoy the corn. God damn it, Toby. Toby, stay in character. I think the Titans are in the bunker, and whatever happens made the night into a lightener. Half Titan fusion? Maybe? I think the Titans are in the bunker. I mean, yeah, they're just under the earth, right? It's a fun concept. Half Titan could also just be like, just consumed by darkness. Hello, Chris Dreamer, named Cornbow Caster. And then Gasset will show up at the end of Deltarune to promote Toby's third game. Of course. Oh yeah, right, Altered. Fun concept. Not the best name though. They have similar amounts of knowledge about the game, and Rousey chooses to play by the rules of it, despite not needing to. Yep. Oh, true, yeah, they do have game knowledge. Whereas Flowery breaks the rules and does all sorts of silly stuff because he's trying to make a point to Rousey. Oh, hey, Rally. I'm dying. I'm falling. I'm coding right now. Hi, Henry. Bingo Blizzard. Wait. Oh, you guys actually did a good job. Some people still don't like Flowery even after playing through Chapter 5. Well, the point initially is you're not supposed to like him, but he's supposed to grow on you very quickly. But he's supposed to kind of piss you off a little bit. Really, Rousey's telling the player, look, you know, first screw that guy, right? Wait, what the hell was Chris doing before we saw them enter the room back in the beginning of Chapter 5? They've been prepping the roaring! We'll find out in Chapter 6, right? I'd love to see cutscenes of what Chris was doing. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see. Noelle just backs Chris into a corner. Tell me everything. And then we just get cutscenes of everything happening. Girona. To be honest, we have absolutely no knowledge about the sacrifice. No, zero. Literally zero. The code doesn't make sense. The logos, the icons don't make any sense. The people that were captured make some sense, but why is sacrifices needed? I don't know. Blood for the blood god. And one more for the fans. Hanging out with the shelter gang? What the frick? Whoa. What the? I don't know where that came from. I think OBS is mad at me. Checker Dance is playing and it sounds mad weird. There we go. What if the sacrifice is something else? Maybe. Hanging out with the shelter gang. I hope we get Azrael soon. I like Rousey and all, but every time dialogue is said from him, it breaks my heart. And then I can't play. Really? I think you'll see Azrael in Chapter 6. I feel like it's kind of the last time to kind of show him. Like a sacrifice is something personal or personality? Maybe. I mean, doing what they're doing is kind of sacrificing everything about themselves. Will the Ice Palace dungeon mirror the 7B Dark World somehow? I think so. I really like the idea of an Ice Palace Dark World in the Holiday Manor. But if we don't get that, then the Ice Palace having a connection to Roots, I think is a big indicator of what we could expect in the depths. Hold on. Everyone who's been captured by the Knight was some form of royalty in Undertale. Might be a coincidence, but I don't know. Captain of the Royal Guard, King, tried going after Toriel, who's queen. They wanted Toriel. Why would they want all the royalty? Why would that be relevant? Would there be anyone else? No, it would just be Toriel. They would just need Toriel, and that's it. I don't know, just some Toby drawing some garbage. Stay in character! That's my comment. Yes, that's Chris's knife called Flowery. You missed the cutscene with him that requires using the cell phone 55 times. Of course! Knifery. Hey, guys. I'm stabbing his flesh. A police, a holiday, and a church member, maybe. Oh, a police. I thought you were saying like a human resources. Police, a holiday, and a church member. Police, a holiday, and a church member. But they haven't gone after a holiday. The corn at the end of the newsletter looks like yellow concept art. It did remind me a lot of yellow, Pablo. It did. There's some wild theories, and hey, wild things had happened in Deltarune. Girona. Yeah, agree. 100% Rainbow. Do you think we'll get more Titans in 6 and 7? Yeah, I mean, the prophecy kind of showed, or at least the cutscene we got from Rousey, that there were multiple Titans. I think it would make sense. And we saw different types of them, yes. I saw a theory that the one we fought was a Guardian type because the name of the song is Guardian. Because of the song name and it's defense. Yeah. It was focused on defending the fountain. I guess because we were trying to seal it, right? There could be other types. That'd be cool. An attack. Dude, an attack type Titan. Wait, it's just Attack on Titan. Ah. Imagine Titans as regular enemy. If there's any boss, they'll show up again as Titans. Imagine Titans that are able to like sort of squish themselves down to like a normal size so we can fight them like a regular enemy. That would be cool. Like a pure Titan. Condenses all of its mass into something refined, I guess. More Titans would be so lit. 5 million Titans at your doorstep. What do? Roaring Knight, more like Royal Knight? Oh yeah, the Twisted Sword. Doesn't it have the same effect as the Thorn Ring? But instead it's trance down instead of up? Trance down. How would we want to trance down? I could be misremembering since it's unused for now, but... What if it frees Chris of our control? Huh. If that is true. It's... Dang. Could be. Unless I know everyone's just LARPing information in the chat now. The 2D's been very solid with their stuff. Maybe. But why would we try to get rid of the trance? Like, that's implying the soul is trying to get away from Chris in the aborted weird route. Maybe we take over the vessel in the aborted weird route? That's a fun concept. I think them taking Toriel was just them stalling for time. The way they sucked them in was kind of weird. How much time do you need to stall? What the frick are they doing? Flattery, signery. I'm pretty sure there's some unused code for a toggle for hat/hatless Rousey in Chapter 5. Kind of glad they didn't make the final cut. Forcing Rousey to do what we want. Yeah, it would kind of suck. And this is coming from someone that loves the Chapter 1 design. I love it. It's so good. I love the colors. I think the first ever Deltarune fan art I drew years and years and years ago, little kid me, was of Chapter 1 Rousey. So I do really love that design, but it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. Spawns? Nah, not like spawns. Spawns are... I don't even know what a frick a spawn is. Something that becomes a Titan? I meant a Titan that... like it evolves and it just somehow gets smaller, more condensed. So just Rousey. Also find it funny that the Titan very much does not have 800 defense. Check text just always lies. Damn. The game is just LARPing. If it had 800 defense, you would be doing 0 damage 100% of the time with its shield up. But that wouldn't be fun. Even the Titan that is Gaster. Even unless you have max attack on Chris and hit a crit with Black Shard. Yeah, I'm sold with my stuff. 2D, you're cooking. You're really cooking. I'm surprised you're not like one of the main chatters here. You know, the crown thing. Oh, I'm at the end. To be fair, we have no knowledge about aborted weird route, so it could be anything. True. But it definitely has a connection to the Twisted Sword. It's like the whole point of the aborted weird route is the Twisted Sword. And giving Noelle a taste of freedom, right? But yeah, remember when Rousey refused to equip the flowery scarf despite it having plus 70 of every stat? That's the first time he defies us. They're growing as a person. Also, I think that scarf was LARPing, right? It was like a fraud. It didn't actually do anything or much of anything. The end of chat has been reached. Probably just because I showed up late. Flowery soda. Up the light and Dark Worlds merch. Alright, fellas. I did it. I made it to the end of chat and it's 4 a.m. I think it's about time. I think we have stretched the limits of everything. This has been an amazing stream. I've joined this. I'm glad, Nubs. Guys, you can subscribe if you want and stick around. I make indie content. I like indie games. I like indie shows. I'm not going to start yelling at you reasons to subscribe. Good job, nephew. Well done, nephew. I love talking about theories and stuff. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I always like theory stuff. I don't know. Part of me felt like it'd be hard to come up with my own theories. It just seems very crackpot and very like, whatever, just a lot of script writing. I'm not the best at that. But definitely talking about stuff is just Ton of fun. Time to drone for the final time. That was nice. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here. You should make a Discord server if you don't have one already. I need to. I have been stalling on one. I will, Pablo. I will. We sleep right now, but I took a long nap earlier, so I guess it worked out. I'm just gonna hang out. Hell yeah. Great. It was a very cool sauce. I'm glad to have been part of this, even if it wasn't much. W stream. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Listen, there was a point I didn't think I would stream, but I had that feeling, you know? That feeling of just joy and excitement that doesn't come every now and again. I wanted to share it with you all. So thank you, guys. Thank you, F. Thank you, Mub. Oh god, I can't even do my goodbyes. Thank you, F. Thank you, Nubs. Thank you, X marks the spot art. Thank you, Rainbow Stars. Thank you, 2D Emerald. Thank you, Pablo. Thank you, Cubioid. Thank you, Jadin. Thank you, Cheese was here. A lot of the regulars. Random was here. Actually, Sunfire wasn't here. You don't like them, 2D. They're big on theorizing. Thank you, Ricion. I'm probably forgetting people. It is 4 in the morning. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, guys. And everyone I didn't say. Everybody. I appreciate it a ton. Luigi, if I get good sleep, I don't know. If I came up till 4 a.m. It's been fun. It's been fun. I would have done. I would have chosen this route in every lifetime. Maybe Discord was one of the best choices. I made it so chill. I love my audience. Oh wow, you have your own audience? Definitely make one. Okay, I'll do it. I'll look into it. I should. Easy stream. Till next time. Thank you, guys. I'll be back. I'm actually thinking about streaming probably Monday. There's a horror game coming out that I want to play. I also want to make content. I want to make more videos. I'm making videos, but streaming has been so fun. Yeah, it's what I do best. I love just yapping. I'm at my best when I'm yapping. Anyway, thank you, guys. It's 4 a.m. Get some sleep. It's been awesome. So excited for chapter 6, man. Holy. See your content? I'll work on it. Appreciate y'all. I'll see you around, all right?